And we've not just proven this about Haryana. We have proven this in Karnataka, we have proven this in Maharashtra, and I'm absolutely certain this is how you're winning elections in Madhya Pradesh, in Uttar Pradesh, in Bihar, across the country. Now, so what I'm putting on the table is, it is very clear that you've captured the institution. I've shown the mechanism of that capture. I'm also showing you how the Election Commission is doing things that are completely out of line. I'm not getting any answers. Right? So now let us come to how, when we're talking about electoral reform. Electoral reform is very simple. The point is, nobody wants to do it. The government doesn't want to do it. What does electoral reform require? What we've been saying. Number one, give machine-readable voter lists to all political parties 1 month before the election. That's the first step. The second step is take back the law that allows the destruction of CCTVs, CCTV footage. Very simple, not difficult. While you're doing that, also tell us what is the architecture of the EVM. Give us access to the EVM. Yes. Let our experts go and see what is inside the EVM. Yes. Till today, we have not had access to the EVM. We are not shown the architecture of the EVM. We're not physically allowed to go and see an EVM. Give us the architecture. Give us access to the EVM. And finally, please change the law that allows the election commissioner to get away with whatever he wants to do. That's all the electoral reforms you need. And I want to assure the election commissioner that they might be under the impression that this law lets them get away with it. Let me remind them, don't worry, we are going to change the law, and we are going to change it retroactively, and we are going to come and find you. Right? So this is the situation that the country is faced with. You know, everybody says to us, India is the biggest democracy. Actually, I was thinking today, we're not just the biggest democracy, we're the greatest democracy. And I'm not saying it just like that. I'm saying it, America calls itself the oldest democracy. But the democracy that weaves together the largest number of people, the largest diversity of people, the largest number of languages, the largest number of states is this country. And so our most powerful asset, the thing that stitches together the entire concept of modern India, stitches together the fabric of modern India, brings people together, allows them to build this great nation, is being attacked by these people. They're destroying it. You know they're destroying it. I know they're destroying it, and they know they're destroying it. And I'd like to conclude by saying that the biggest anti-national act you can do is vote chori. There is no bigger anti-national act that you can do than vote chori. Because when you destroy the vote, you destroy the fabric of this country. You destroy modern India, you destroy the idea of India. So I'd like to conclude by saying vote chori is an anti-national act, and those across the aisle are doing an anti-national act. Thank you. On Khadi. Why was it that he framed the entire Indian freedom struggle around the concept of Khadi? And why is it that he only wore Khadi? Because Khadi is not just a cloth. Khadi is the expression of the people of India. It is the imagination, it is the sentiment, It is the productive force of the people of Aaj Pehnaun Khadi. It is the expression of the people of India. Speaker, sir, whichever state you go to, you will find different fabrics. There's the Himachali cap, Assamese gamcha, Banarsi sari, Kanchipuram sari, Naga jacket, and you will find that all these fabrics represent the people. When the people of Assam give you the gamcha, they're not just giving you a piece of cloth. They're giving you an expression. They're giving you a piece of their history, their tradition, their future, their imagination. It's the same when the Nagas wear that jacket. When they come and see us, they make us wear the jacket because they want us to be embraced by the fabric. But Speaker, sir, these fabrics are beautiful. But if you look slightly deeper and you look closely at the fabric, you will find that each one of them has thousands of little threads embracing each other. A Kanchipuram sari might have a golden thread, but the golden thread means nothing without the green thread or the yellow thread near it. The other thing to notice about the sari or any other fabric is that all the threads are equal. No one thread is superior to another thread. They all come together. The threads cannot protect you. The threads cannot keep you warm. But when they come together as a fabric, they can keep you warm, they can protect you, they can express what you have in the heart. Speaker, sir, in the same way, our nation is also a fabric. It's a fabric made up of 1.4 billion people, and the fabric is woven together by the vote. Let me repeat it. It is a fabric of 1.5 billion people, and it is woven together by the vote. Everything that we see, in fact, this house where I'm standing today, the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, Vidhan Sabhas across the country, Panchayats across the country, none of them would exist if the vote did not exist. We talk with great pride about HAL, BHEL, ONGC, Tejas, Chandrayaan. We have a list of things we say. Not one of those would exist without the vote. Speaker, sir, it is the idea that every thread, every person in the Union of India is equal that disturbs my friends in the RSS. They're happy to see the fabric, but they cannot stand the idea that every single person in the fabric of our country, regardless of what religion they come from, regardless of what community they come from, regardless of what language they speak, should be equal. Because they fundamentally do not believe in equality. They believe in a hierarchy, and they believe that they should be on top of that house. Speaker sir, on the 30th of January 1948, 3 bullets pierced the chest of Mahatma Gandhi. Nathuram Godse assassinated the father of our nation. Today, our friends do not embrace him. Today, our friends have pushed him away. He's an uncomfortable truth. But that's not where the project ended. You see, as I said, everything has emerged from the vote. All the institutions have emerged from the vote. So it's obvious that the RSS has to capture all the institutions that have emerged from the vote. So the project, after Gandhiji's assassination, the next step of the project was the wholesale capture of India's institutional framework. So what is this, sir?
Sir, अभी नहीं पढ़ना होगा।
I'm doing. Relax.
मैं बुलाता हूँ। प्लीज बैठिए।
So,
प्लीज।
sir,
आप बोले पर हाथ मत जोड़े।
Sir, these are uncomfortable truths, but they have to be spoken. So these are uncomfortable truths, but they have to be spoken. My friends don't like the connections I'm making. They're disturbed by them. It's obvious. Speaker, sir, so after the father of the nation was assassinated, his vision of an equal India, of an India where institutions belong to the people, had to be destroyed. And so the process started, and the RSS attempted to capture one institution after the other. And I will give some examples so that it is crystal clear that this is the case. Everybody knows how vice chancellors are placed on top of Indian universities today. Every single person knows this. You go to any university, you speak to any youngster in India, he will tell you that it does not matter whether the professor has qualifications. It does not matter whether the professor has a scientific temperament. The only thing that matters is the professor belongs.
माननीय सदस्य, एक मिनट, माननीय सदस्य, चुनाव सुधारों पर चर्चा हो रही है।
सर, ये मैं उसी पे कर रहा हूँ।
आप किसी भी संगठन का नाम जो इस हाउस में उसका नाम नहीं है। LOP है तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है। LOP का मतलब नहीं, आप जनरल बात बोलो। आप राष्ट्रपति भाषण में बोलिए जनरल बात।
सर, हम लोग सुनना चाहते हैं। सर, स्पीकर सर, हम लोग सुनेंगे शांति से। हम लोग शांति से सुनना चाहते हैं, और ये आप लोग सुनिए ना क्या कहना चाहते हैं।
धमकी देंगे आप?
हम लोग सुनने के लिए बैठा है। अभी तक नेता प्रतिपक्ष एक शब्द चुनाव सुधार पे अभी तक आया ही नहीं है।
संसदीय कार्य मंत्री बोल रहे हैं।
मैं स्पीकर का परमिशन से ही बोल रहा हूँ। हम सुनने के लिए बैठे हैं। अरे हम सुनने के लिए बैठे हैं। नेता प्रतिपक्ष चुनाव सुधार के लिए जो सुझाव देंगे सुनने के लिए तो हम बैठे हैं, लेकिन चुनाव सुधार को नहीं बोलते हुए कहा जो इस सदन से कोई वास्ता नहीं, जो संगठन उसका कहानी किसी और का बोलना ये कोई उचित नहीं है। समय बहुमूल्य है, समय का मर्यादा भी है, सबका सब यहाँ सुनने के लिए बैठे हैं और ये समय बहुत कीमती है, इसलिए हर एक पल अच्छा शब्दों का कोई अच्छा ज्ञान दे, सुझाव दे, सुनने के लिए हम लोग बैठे हैं। मेरा एक सीमित अनुरोध है नेता प्रतिपक्ष से, आप विषय पर ही रहिए, हम लोग सब बैठे हैं, गृह मंत्री जी भी सुनने के लिए बैठे हैं, लेकिन आप विषय पर नहीं बोलेंगे तो जो विषय तय किया गया है उसका क्या मतलब है। अगर चुनाव सुधार पर ही नहीं बोलेंगे तो फिर इतना समय सबका क्यों बर्बाद करना चाहते हैं नेता प्रतिपक्ष।
Should I leave?
Then you speak. He wanted you.
Should I leave?
You speak then. You
Should I
speak.
leave?
What is it? You are parliamentary affairs minister. You are a parliamentary affairs minister. You are disturbing the lobby. How can it be? You are a parliamentary affairs minister. You are disturbing the
सब्जेक्ट में नहीं आपका लॉबी, आपका लॉबी सब्जेक्ट में नहीं है, ये विषय कर रहे हैं।
The discussion, one second. The discussion is about the vote and electoral. The discussion is about the vote.
एक मिनट
सर मुझे बोलने नहीं
एक मिनट बैठिए, माननीय सदस्य मैं बैठे बैठे अनऑफिशियली बोल रहे हैं, उस विषय बोल रहे हैं, सदन की गरिमा को बनाए रखें, आसन को चुनौती देने का प्रयास मत करिए, ये ठीक नहीं है।
Speaker sir, I want to make it very clear. Please. Speaker sir, I want to make it very clear. The discussion is about votes. The discussion is about the stealing of votes. The discussion is about the S.I.R. and I am framing my discussion about votes.
Yes.
And what is happening here is patently unfair. I am not being allowed to speak. I am being disturbed, and I put my protest here.
That is
I have done absolutely nothing wrong. I am talking about the subject. In order to capture the vote, you have to capture institutions. I am saying that institutions of India are captured, and I will come to the point, which is Election Commission is captured. So, the project of the RSS was to capture the institutional framework of the country, and I said how the education system has been captured. Vice Chancellor after Vice Chancellor after Vice Chancellor is placed not on merit, not on capability, not on scientific temper, but on the fact that he belongs to a particular organization. Second capture, which helps in destroying democracy, the capture of the intelligence agencies. We have the Home Minister sitting here, the capture of the CBI, of the ED, of the Income Tax Department. And the systematic placement of bureaucrats who favor their ideology and attack the opposition and anybody who chooses to oppose the RSS. That is the second institutional capture. And the third there are many more. I can go on. And the third institutional capture
What is this?
मानिए प्लीज मानिए।
Yes, become tonight.
the third capture of the institution that directly controls the election system of our country, the Election Commission. Now, I'm not saying this without proof. I have put forth adequate proof about how the Election Commission is colluding with those in power to shape the elections. But I want to ask 3 questions first, which will make it very clear that the BJP is directing and using the Election Commission to damage India's democracy. The first question, why is it that the CJI was removed from the selection panel of the Election Commissioner? What motivation could there be to remove the CJI? Do we not believe in the CJI? Of course we believe in the CJI. Why is he not in that room? I sit in that room. It is so-called a democratic decision. On one side, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Mr. Amit Shah. On the other side, the leader of the opposition. I have no voice in that room. What they decide is what happens. So the first question, why is the Prime Minister and Amit Shah so keen on choosing exactly who the Election Commissioner is going to be? Second question, and even more devastating question. No Prime Minister has done this in the history of India. In December 2023, this government changed the law. They changed the law to make sure that no election commissioner could be punished for any action they take while they are election commissioner.
Yes. Immunity.
Why would the Prime Minister and Home Minister give this gift of immunity to the election commissioner? Why would they need to give this tremendous gift that no Prime Minister has given ever before to the election commissioner?
Yes.
Mr. Shah is looking into the ceiling. Maybe he will answer this question when he speaks. And finally, why was the law with regards to CCTVs and the data that they contain changed? Why was a law put in place that allows the Election Commission to destroy CCTV footage 45 days after the election? What is the need? The answer given is it is a question of data. It is not a question of data. It is a question of stealing the election. Now, what is the result of this institutional capture? What is the result of controlling the Chief Election Commissioner and the Election Commission? First of all, we have a set of election campaigns that are tailored for the Prime Minister. 3-month, 4-month, 5-month long campaigns are taking place so that the Prime Minister's schedule can be fitted in to the program. Second, we have a Brazilian woman who appears 22 times on the voter list of Haryana.
Please. No.
22 times this lady appears.
एक मिनट प्लीज एक मिनट। आप नेता प्रतिपक्ष है, मैं इस तरीके से सदन की कार्रवाई नहीं चलने दूंगा। ये सदन है, सदन की गरिमा को बनाए रखें। आप सदन की गरिमा से बोलेंगे तो ठीक नहीं, जैसे सदन नहीं चलेगा। नो, गलत तरीका है आपका, नहीं होगा। आप ले रहिए, आप ले रहिए। नहीं, माननीय प्रतिपक्ष के नेता, आप पहले अपने सदस्यों को समझाइए। नहीं चलेगा, नहीं, ठीक नहीं है। नो, नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं चलेगा। अगर आप
सर
माननीय प्रतिपक्ष के नेता, आप
Speaker,
अपने
sir.
सदस्यों को गरिमा समझाइए।
सर बट योर
ये तरीका
Sir.
ये तरीका आप इतने सालों
Yes,
तक यहाँ पर
sir,
हैं, ये तरीका उचित है क्या?
सर
विरोध का तरीका होता है, लेकिन ये उचित तरीका नहीं है।
तरीका इधर भी हो,
नो
उधर का तरीका क्या है सर?
नो
Sir,
सबका तरीका उधर
Speaker,
से होगा,
sir.
उधर से भी बोलेंगे, इधर से बोलेंगे, सब जगह से बोलेंगे।
Speaker, sir, I don't agree with the showing of photographs here, but it is a reflection of our democratic structure. This is what is happening in our democracy, that you're not allowing us to show. This Brazilian woman has appeared 22 times on the voter list in Haryana. And not only that, there is one woman whose name has appeared 200 times, more than 200 times in one booth in Haryana. And it is very clear, and I have proven without doubt, that the election of Haryana was stolen. And the theft was ensured by the Election Commission of India. I've said it again and again and again. Now, nowhere has the Election Commission answered my questions. The Election Commission has not told me why this lady's picture has appeared on the polling list. They have not told me why lakhs and lakhs of duplicate voters are existing. They have not told me why a BJP leader is coming from Uttar Pradesh to vote in Haryana. These are straightforward questions. And there is clear proof which I have put in front of the country. Right? But the Election Commission has no answer to these questions. And that is the result of the complete capture of the Election Commission by the people across the aisle. By the way, you're talking about S.I.R. in Bihar. Let me say something about S.I.R. in Bihar. Why is it that after the S.I.R. in Bihar, 1.2 lakh duplicate photos are existing in Bihar, in the voting list? If you've cleaned up the voting list, why are there 1.2 lakh duplicates in Bihar? And we've not just proven this about Haryana. We have proven this in Karnataka, we have proven this in Maharashtra, and I'm absolutely certain this is how you're winning elections in Madhya Pradesh, in Uttar Pradesh, in Bihar, across the country. Now, so what I'm putting on the table is, it is very clear that you've captured the institution. I've shown the mechanism of that capture. I'm also showing you how the Election Commission is doing things that are completely out of line. I'm not getting any answers. Right? So now, let us come to how, when we are talking about electoral reform. Electoral reform is very simple. The point is, nobody wants to do it. The government doesn't want to do it. What does electoral reform require? What we've been saying. Number one, give machine-readable voter lists to all political parties 1 month before the election. That's the first step. The second step is take back the law that allows the destruction of CCTVs, CCTV footage. Very simple, not difficult. While you're doing that, also tell us what is the architecture of the EVM. Give us access to the EVM. Let our experts go and see what is inside the EVM. Till today, we have not had access to the EVM. We are not shown the architecture of the EVM. We're not physically allowed to go and see an EVM. Give us the architecture. Give us access to the EVM. And finally, please change the law that allows the election commissioner to get away with whatever he wants to do. That's all the electoral reforms you need. And I want to assure the election commissioner that they might be under the impression that this law lets them get away with it. Let me remind them, don't worry, we are going to change the law, and we are going to change it retroactively, and we are going to come and find you. Right? So this is the situation that the country is faced with. You know, everybody says to us India is the biggest democracy. Actually, I was thinking today, we're not just the biggest democracy, we're the greatest democracy. And I'm not saying it just like that. I'm saying it, America calls itself the oldest democracy. But the democracy that weaves together the largest number of people, the largest diversity of people, the largest number of languages, the largest number of states is this country. And so our most powerful asset, the thing that stitches together the entire concept of modern India, stitches together the fabric of modern India, brings people together, allows them to build this great nation, is being attacked by these people. They're destroying it. You know they're destroying it. I know they're destroying it, and they know they're destroying it. And I'd like to conclude by saying that the biggest anti-national act you can do is vote chori. There is no bigger anti-national act that you can do than vote chori. Because when you destroy the vote, you destroy the fabric of this country. You destroy modern India, you destroy the idea of India. So I'd like to conclude by saying vote chori is an anti-national act, and those across the aisle are doing an anti-national act. Thank you. On Khadi. Why was it that he framed the entire Indian freedom struggle around the concept of Khadi? And why is it that he only wore Khadi? Because Khadi is not just a cloth. Khadi is the expression of the people of India. It is the imagination, it is the sentiment, it is the productive force of the people of Aaj pehnaun Khadi. It is the expression of the people of India. Speaker, sir, whichever state you go to, you will find different fabrics. There's the Himachali cap, Assamese gamcha, Banarsi sari, Kanchipuram sari, Naga jacket, and you will find that all these fabrics represent the people. When the people of Assam give you the gamcha, they're not just giving you a piece of cloth. They're giving you an expression. They're giving you a piece of their history, their tradition, their future, their imagination. It's the same when the Nagas wear that jacket. When they come and see us, they make us wear the jacket because they want us to be embraced by the fabric. But Speaker, sir, these fabrics are beautiful. But if you look slightly deeper and you look closely at the fabric, you will find that each one of them has thousands of little threads embracing each other. A Kanchipuram sari might have a golden thread, but the golden thread means nothing without the green thread or the yellow thread near it. The other thing to notice about the sari or any other fabric is that all the threads are equal. No one thread is superior to another thread. They all come together. The threads cannot protect you. The threads cannot keep you warm. But when they come together as a fabric, they can keep you warm, they can protect you, they can express what you have in the heart. Speaker, sir, in the same way, our nation is also a fabric. It's a fabric made up of 1.4 billion people, and the fabric is woven together by the vote. Let me repeat it. It is a fabric of 1.5 billion people, and it is woven together by the vote. Everything that we see, in fact, this house where I'm standing today, the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, Vidhan Sabhas across the country, Panchayats across the country, none of them would exist if the vote did not exist. We talk with great pride about HAL, BHEL, ONGC, Tejas, Chandrayaan. We have a list of things we say. Not one of those would exist without the vote. Speaker, sir, it is the idea that every thread, every person in the Union of India is equal that disturbs my friends in the RSS. They are happy to see the fabric, but they cannot stand the idea that every single person in the fabric of our country, regardless of what religion they come from, regardless of what community they come from, regardless of what language they speak, should be equal. Because they fundamentally do not believe in equality. They believe in a hierarchy, and they believe that they should be on top of that hierarchy. Speaker, sir, on the 30th of January, 1948, 3 bullets pierced the chest of Mahatma Gandhi. Nathuram Godse assassinated the father of our nation. Today, our friends do not embrace him. Today, our friends have pushed him away. He's an uncomfortable truth. But that's not where the project ended. You see, as I said, everything has emerged from the vote. All the institutions have emerged from the vote. So it's obvious that the RSS has to capture all the institutions that have emerged from the vote. So the project, after Gandhiji's assassination, the next step of the project was the wholesale capture of India's institutional framework. So what is this, sir?
सर अभी नहीं पहना हुआ
I'm doing, relax.
मैं बुलाता हूँ, प्लीज बैठिए,
So,
प्लीज।
sir,
आप बोले पर हाथ मत जोड़े।
sir, these are uncomfortable truths. but they have to be spoken. So these are uncomfortable truths, but they have to be spoken. My friends don't like the connections I'm making. They're disturbed by them. It's obvious. Speaker, sir, so after the father of the nation was assassinated, his vision of an equal India, of an India where institutions belong to the people, had to be destroyed. And so the process started, and the RSS attempted to capture one institution after the other. And I will give some examples so that it is crystal clear that this is the case. Everybody knows how vice chancellors are placed on top of Indian universities today. Every single person knows this. You go to any university, you speak to any youngster in India, he will tell you that it does not matter whether the professor has qualifications. It does not matter whether the professor has a scientific temperament. The only thing that matters is the professor belongs.
माननीय सदस्य, एक मिनट, माननीय सदस्य, चुनाव सुधारों पर चर्चा हो रही है।
सर, ये मैं उसी पे कर रहा हूँ।
आप किसी भी संगठन का नाम जो इस हाउस का नाम ले। नो, LOP है तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है। LOP का मतलब नहीं, आप जनरल बात बोलो। आप राष्ट्रपति भाषण में बोलिए जनरल बात।
सर, हम लोग सुनना चाहते हैं। सर, स्पीकर सर, हम लोग सुनेंगे शांति से। हम लोग शांति से सुनना चाहते हैं, और ये आप लोग सुनिए ना क्या कहना चाहते हैं।
धमकी देंगे आप?
हम लोग सुनने के लिए बैठा है। अभी तक नेता प्रतिपक्ष एक शब्द चुनाव सुधार पे अभी तक आया ही नहीं है।
संसदीय कार्य मंत्री बोल रहे हैं।
मैं स्पीकर का परमिशन से ही बोल रहा हूँ। हम सुनने के लिए बैठे हैं। अरे हम सुनने के लिए बैठे हैं। नेता प्रतिपक्ष चुनाव सुधार के लिए जो सुझाव देंगे, सुनने के लिए तो हम बैठे हैं, लेकिन चुनाव सुधार को नहीं बोलते हुए कहा जो इस सदन से कोई वास्ता नहीं, जो संगठन, उसका कहानी किसी और का बोलना ये कोई उचित नहीं है। समय बहुमूल्य है, समय का मर्यादा भी है। सबका सब यहाँ सुनने के लिए बैठे हैं, और ये समय बहुत कीमती है। इसलिए हर एक पल अच्छा शब्दों का कोई अच्छा ज्ञान दे, सुझाव दे, सुनने के लिए हम लोग बैठे हैं। मेरा एक सीमित अनुरोध है नेता प्रतिपक्ष से, आप विषय पर ही रहिए। हम लोग सब बैठे हैं, गृह मंत्री जी भी सुनने के लिए बैठे हैं, लेकिन आप विषय पर नहीं बोलेंगे तो जो विषय तय किया गया है उसे क्या मतलब है। अगर चुनाव सुधार पर ही नहीं बोलेंगे तो फिर इतना समय सबका क्यों बर्बाद करना चाहते हैं नेता प्रतिपक्ष।
Should I leave? Then you speak.
Should I leave?
You speak then. You speak. What is it? You are parliamentary affairs minister. You are a parliamentary affairs minister. You are disturbing LOP. How can it be? You are a parliamentary affairs minister. You are disturbing LOP.
सब्जेक्ट में नहीं आपका LOP। आपका LOP सब्जेक्ट में नहीं है, ये विषय कर रहे हैं।
The discussion, one second. The discussion is about the vote and electoral. The discussion is about the vote.
एक मिनट।
सर, मुझे बोलने दीजिए।
एक मिनट बैठिए। माननीय सदस्य में बैठे अनऑफिशियली बोल रहे हैं, उस विषय बोल रहे हैं। सदन की गरिमा को बनाए रखें। आसन को चुनौती देने का प्रयास मत करिए, ये ठीक नहीं है।
Speaker sir, I want to make it very clear. Please. Speaker sir, I want to make it very clear. The discussion is about votes. The discussion is about the stealing of votes. The discussion is about the S.I.R. and I am framing my discussion about votes.
Yes.
And what is happening here is patently unfair. I am not being allowed to speak. I am being disturbed, and I put my protest here.
That is
I have done absolutely nothing wrong. I am talking about the subject. In order to capture the vote, you have to capture institutions. I am saying that institutions of India are captured, and I will come to the point, which is Election Commission is captured. So the project of the RSS was to capture the institutional framework of the country, and I said how the education system has been captured. Vice Chancellor after Vice Chancellor after Vice Chancellor is placed not on merit, not on capability, not on scientific temper, but on the fact that he belongs to a particular organization. Second capture, which helps in destroying democracy, the capture of the intelligence agencies. We have the Home Minister sitting here, the capture of the CBI, of the ED, of the Income Tax Department. And the systematic placement of bureaucrats who favor their ideology and attack the opposition and anybody who chooses to oppose the RSS. That is the second institutional capture. And the third there are many more. I can go on. And the third institutional capture
What is this?
मानिए प्लीज मानिए.
Yes, become Sunday.
the third capture of the institution that directly controls the election system of our country, the Election Commission. Now, I'm not saying this without proof. I have put forth adequate proof about how the Election Commission is colluding with those in power to shape the elections. But I want to ask three questions first, which will make it very clear that the BJP is directing and using the Election Commission to damage India's democracy. The first question, why is it that the CJI was removed from the selection panel of the Election Commissioner? What motivation could there be to remove the CJI? Do we not believe in the CJI? Of course we believe in the CJI. Why is he not in that room? I sit in that room. It is so-called a democratic decision. On one side, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Mr. Amit Shah. On the other side, the leader of the opposition. I have no voice in that room. What they decide is what happens. So the first question, why is the Prime Minister and Amit Shah so keen on choosing exactly who the Election Commissioner is going to be? Second question, and even more devastating question, no Prime Minister has done this in the history of India. In December 2023, this government changed the law. They changed the law to make sure that no election commissioner could be punished for any action they take while they are election commissioner.
Yes. Immunity.
Why would the Prime Minister and Home Minister give this gift of immunity to the election commissioner? Why would they need to give this tremendous gift that no Prime Minister has given ever before to the election commissioner?
Yes.
Mr. Shah is looking into the ceiling. Maybe he will answer this question when he speaks. And finally, why was the law with regards to CCTVs and the data that they contain changed? Why was a law put in place that allows the Election Commission to destroy CCTV footage 45 days after the election? What is the need? The answer given is it is a question of data. It is not a question of data. It is a question of stealing the election. Now, what is the result of this institutional capture? What is the result of controlling the Chief Election Commissioner and the Election Commission? First of all, we have a set of election campaigns that are tailored for the Prime Minister. 3-month, 4-month, 5-month long campaigns are taking place so that the Prime Minister's schedule can be fitted in to the program. Second, we have a Brazilian woman who appears 22 times on the voter list of Haryana.
Please. No.
22 times this lady appears.
एक मिनट प्लीज एक मिनट. आप नेता प्रतिपक्ष है, मैं इस तरीके से सदन की कार्रवाई नहीं चलने दूंगा. ये सदन है, सदन की गरिमा को बनाए रखें. आप सदन की गरिमा से बोलेंगे तो ठीक नहीं, जैसे सदन नहीं चलेगा. नो, गलत तरीका है आपका, नहीं होगा. आप ले रहिए, आप ले रहिए. नहीं, माननीय प्रतिपक्ष के नेता, आप पहले अपने सदस्यों को समझाइए. नहीं चलेगा, नहीं, ठीक नहीं है. नो, नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं चलेगा. अगर आप
सर
माननीय प्रतिपक्ष के नेता, आप अपने सदस्यों को गरिमा समझाइए.
सर, बट
ये तरीका आप इतने सालों तक यहाँ पर हैं, ये तरीका उचित है क्या?
सर,
विरोध का तरीका होता है, लेकिन ये उचित तरीका नहीं है.
तरीका इधर भी हो.
नो,
उधर का तरीका क्या है सर?
नो, सबका तरीका उधर से होगा, उधर से भी बोलेंगे, इधर से बोलेंगे, सब जगह से बोलेंगे.
Speaker sir, I don't agree with the showing of photographs here, but it is a reflection of our democratic structure. This is what is happening in our democracy, that you're not allowing us to show. This Brazilian woman has appeared 22 times on the voter list in Haryana. And not only that, there is one woman whose name has appeared 200 times, more than 200 times in one booth in Haryana. And it is very clear, and I have proven without doubt, that the election of Haryana was stolen. And the theft was ensured by the Election Commission of India. I've said it again and again and again. Now, nowhere has the Election Commission answered my questions. The Election Commission has not told me why this lady's picture has appeared on the polling list. They have not told me why lakhs and lakhs of duplicate voters are existing. They have not told me why a BJP leader is coming from Uttar Pradesh to vote in Haryana. These are straightforward questions. And there is clear proof which I have put in front of the country. Right? But the Election Commission has no answer to these questions. And that is the result of the complete capture of the Election Commission by the people across the aisle. By the way, you're talking about S.I.R. in Bihar. Let me say something about S.I.R. in Bihar. Why is it that after the S.I.R. in Bihar, 1.2 lakh duplicate photos are existing in Bihar, in the voting list? If you've cleaned up the voting list, why are there 1.2 lakh duplicates in Bihar? And we've not just proven this about Haryana. We have proven this in Karnataka, we have proven this in Maharashtra, and I'm absolutely certain this is how you're winning elections in Madhya Pradesh, in Uttar Pradesh, in Bihar, across the country. Now, so what I'm putting on the table is, it is very clear that you've captured the institution. I've shown the mechanism of that capture. I'm also showing you how the Election Commission is doing things that are completely out of line. I'm not getting any answers. Right? So now let us come to how, when we're talking about electoral reform. Electoral reform is very simple. The point is, nobody wants to do it. The government doesn't want to do it. What does electoral reform require? What we've been saying. Number one, give machine
fire that has been witnessed at Surat Textile Mill. Now, all of this was caught on camera, where plumes of black smoke emerged, a fire that broke out in 7-story Raj Textile Market. There you see those pictures on your screens of how the fire is blazing at this 7-story textile mill, and efforts are on full swing to be able to douse off that fire. Fire tenders that rushed to the spot immediately at Surat. It is a 7-storied structure that you clearly see on the cameras. We're yet to get details of what caused this fire and whether there was anybody in the building at that time. Let me get further details from Brijesh Doshi joining us on the phone line. Brijesh, what more are you picking up?
See, this was the fire incident taken place in the Surat Parvat Patia Ilaka, where there is a Raj Textile Market which was caught up in the fire. Though the primary reason was not out, but due to some short circuit or the other issues, this fire was done in the fire was erupted in the 8th floor of this market. So it has been spread to the 8th floor of the market. So from ground floor to 8th floor was covered in the this fire, but this incident was happened in the morning at around 7:15 a.m. and right now the fire brigade has taken the control of the fire. There is no casualties right now, but this was the biggest market, one of the biggest textile market, and that's why the brigade call was given by the fire department. Right now the situation is under control.
Right, Brijesh is saying that the situation is under control, but if you could also give us an approximate timeline of when the fire broke out, how much time has it taken to douse off that fire, and then again, I mean, people that were around or in the building at that time?
See, this incident was occurred around the first call, fire department got the first call at around 7:15 a.m. Then the fire department's couple of vans reached there, but after that they have seen that the situation is worsened and the fire has spread to the almost 8th floor. That's why the brigade call was announced, and they almost 22 firefighters rushed to the spot. And after that, around almost after 3.5 hours, more than 3.5 hours, the fire was taken under the control. The situation is right now under control. Around 11 a.m., the fire department has took the control of the fire. Right now, the fire officers are there. They are trying to evacuate the situation. They are trying to cooling down the area because as the fire was spread to the 8th floor of the textile market, and now the assessment of the damage or the to the property will be done by the locals once the fire department will allow them to enter to the market.
All right, Brijesh, many thanks for getting us the latest. And the latest coming in as hate speech bill has been tabled in the Assembly. Home Minister G. Parmeshwara has introduced a stringent hate speech bill in the Karnataka Assembly. Yes, up to 10 years of imprisonment could be put in place for hate speech is what the Karnataka Assembly will now mull over. Also, a fine of 1 lakh rupees has been proposed, and repeat offence could lead to 2 to 10 years in jail in Karnataka in the scenario of hate speech. The first offence could also lead up to 7 years in jail and a fine of 50,000 rupees. And the bill is packed with tough enforcement clauses. BJP has raised a strong objection to the bill's introduction, but goes quiet after the mic is cut. There's a major uproar that is expected during the debate session in the Karnataka Assembly. Let me cut across to S.I.R joining us now with further details of what really is transpiring on this matter in terms of hate speech and such stringent punishments that are now being mulled over. What is the BJP's position over it?
So far, BJP have not reacted. However, they claim that it is trying to curtail the freedom of speech by people, and they have also alleged that if at all, if someone speaks against the government, and they might consider that as a hate speech, and that is the reason the Congress government in Karnataka is trying to bring this particular bill. What we also get to learn through our sources is that as of now, they have not raised the issue because it is just tabled. Once it is come up for discussion, probably at that point of time, BJP might raise the issue, might protest against this particular bill inside the well. As of now, it is just tabled in the assembly, and we are expecting more uproar once the discussion starts over the bill.
Oh yes, absolutely, S.I.R, and the government also trying to curtail the scope of any sort of criticism, because that is really the borderline when it comes to calling out the government here, while the Congress government in Karnataka is mulling the same, wonder what the Congress's position will be if the centre or any other government were to do this.
So if you notice that the Congress have maintained stating that it is their agenda that they have to stop hate speech, and this is not something new. Even their manifesto, they went on to say that they will go ahead and curb hate speech across the country, and even in Karnataka. And subsequently, they have brought a bill. It was been approved in the cabinet, and it was been also tabled around 11:30 here in Belagavi session. And as we speak now, it has been kept for discussion. Probably once it comes for discussion, there might be more uproar, and they have categorically mentioned that the first time offender will be fined around 50,000 rupees and will have to face a punishment of 7 years of imprisonment, and the repeated offender will have to pay around 1 lakh rupees fine and 10 years of imprisonment who has been booked in the hate speech crime.
All right, Sagaraj, do stay on. Mr. S. Prakash of Karnataka BJP is with us on the phone line. Good afternoon to you, sir. Your stance on what really is happening on this front and the hate speech bill that is being introduced by the Congress?
No, it is a very dangerous bill introduced by the Congress government in Karnataka. Who decides what is hate speech and what is not? It is the government officials or the state government who are ruling will decide anyone's speech as a hate speech, and they settle scores with them. This will open a can of worms to seek vengeance against the opposition parties and those who do not believe in their ideology, and the Congress party who does not believe in others' ideology, they will be targeted definitely. And look at the clause, 10 years imprisonment and 1 lakh rupees fine. Even for in a murder case, such a long punishment will not be given on many cases. And I am sure this bill will not stand the legal scrutiny, and it should be thrown out lock, stock and barrel.
Oh yes, absolutely. Mr. S. Prakash, fact also remains that it is borderline, because any sort of criticism against the government, and especially when you go by their track record of the kind of corruption charges, of the lack of governance, of clear civil infrastructure crumbling, and how people have spoken up against this government time and again, but to suppress those voices, to curtail them, is not in the best interest of the state.
BJP had issued an advertisement listing out the price increase made by the government in the last 2 years. This government filed a defamation case in the court. Such is the vengeful attitude of the Congress government in Karnataka. Without this act, they have indulged in such an act. If this bill is passed and becomes an act, I am afraid to imagine the amount of vengeful act they will be indulging against their critics and the opposition party. On this backdrop, this bill should not be passed and this should not become an act, and I am sure it will not stand as an iota of legal scrutiny even if it is passed just because they have a majority in the House.
Absolutely. Mr. S. Prakash, thank you for speaking to India Today this afternoon. And that's the word coming in from the BJP as they are strictly opposing the introduction of the hate speech bill, as they are of the opinion that this is a clear-cut way to be able to suppress voices. And anyone who will be critical of the government will have to face harsh punishment. And just to give you details of what this bill really entails. After 10 years of imprisonment for hate speech that is being mulled, 1 lakh rupees of fine that is being proposed. In case of a repeat offence, there could be jail term of between 2 to 10 years. The first offence could actually mean 7 years in jail and up to 50,000 rupees of fine. And the bill is packed with tough enforcement clauses. Sagairaj, I want to come back to you because this could really be the biggest flashpoint in Karnataka right now, given the fact that G. Parmeshwara is all set to introduce this bill, but the BJP is already up in arms saying that this would be a very, very wrong precedent.
Absolutely. As I told you earlier, they have alleged that it is trying to curb the freedom of speech and expression, and they say that they want to target the BJP and their workers, and that is the reason they are trying to bring a hate speech bill. However, the Congress have clarified, stating that anything against any particular community or trying to provoke people and trying to instigate people on communal lines, they will be booked under this particular law, and they are committed, and that is their agenda, and they will go ahead with this particular bill. Remember, it has already been approved in the cabinet. Now it has been tabled, and any time now it might be discussed inside the assembly.
All right, so Gairaj, many thanks for getting us the latest. Of course, we wait and watch how this really is discussed in the Karnataka Assembly and what eventually turns out on the hate speech bill that has been tabled by the Siddaramaiah government in the Karnataka Assembly. With that, it's time for us to slip into a very short commercial break. News and updates continue on the other side. Do stay tuned to India Today.
For me, good journalism is the truth well told. My philosophy was produce a good editorial product, the money will follow.
For me, India Today represented the discovery of India.
If India Today was seen as a person, I'd say it's a curious magazine.
People who wanted to tell stories came to the magazine. They got attracted by it.
2 पेज और दे दे यार अरुण प्लीज। मैं कहता था यार अरुण तू मुझे ऐसे दबा के मार देना चाहता तो मार। To start a news magazine in the middle of the emergency, sort of suicidal, let me say.
Threatened us. You have a press, we can shut it down.
India Today was setting another benchmark. It has started the first opinion poll in the country.
And that's when a lot of the credibility of India Today got built. That, okay, this is a magazine to be taken seriously.
Hi, Sana here with a quick AQI update. Delhi 261, Mumbai 141, Kolkata 238, Bangalore 153, Chennai 184, Hyderabad 160.
So sorry.
ये दोस्ती हम नहीं तोड़ेंगे, मुश्किलें आए मगर तेरा साथ ना छोड़ेंगे। अरे तेरा हाथ मेरा हाथ, मेरा हाथ तेरा हाथ कभी भी आजमाना। टैरिफ कोई लगाए, S.I.R सोना रोक पाए अपना ये याराना। दोस्ती निभाएंगे, दुनिया से टकराएंगे, डील करते जाएंगे, धौंस में न आएंगे, चाहे जो जले। ये दोस्ती हम नहीं तोड़ेंगे, मुश्किलें आए मगर तेरा साथ ना छोड़ेंगे।
Thank you for staying with India Today, and we cut across to breaking news coming in. Aviation watchdog DGCA has now summoned CEO Elbers tomorrow. In fact, the focus is on restoring flight schedule and refunds. Top priority certainly is roster duty restoration, baggage return and recruitment of pilots. That is on the agenda. In the latest, we are just learning of how Indigo CEO Peter Elbers has been summoned by the DGCA over massive operational crisis. The government on Tuesday had said that it was preparing to redistribute 10% of Indigo's curtailed operations to other airlines. And now in the latest, we are learning of how DGCA has summoned Indigo's CEO. Senior officials had said that the reallocation will be calibrated to ensure that additional flights assigned to other carriers do not result in further cancellations. Indigo that is now facing this big blow as DGCA has summoned Indigo CEO Peter Elbers for a meeting on Thursday at 3 p.m, directing him to appear with comprehensive operational data as the regulator reviews the airline's massive operational crisis. Let's get further details from my colleague Shreya Chatterjee on Indigo CEO who's been summoned for 3 p.m. tomorrow.
Suresha, this is the latest that is coming in. On December 11th is when he'll have to appear before the DGCA. Now, there are four at least agendas that he needs to touch base upon. the flight restoration process, how they're handling the entire thing, the recruitment of planned pilots and crew, because now updated positions of pilot and the cabin strength will also need to be taken into consideration. So they'll have to give an entire detailed presentation on how they will be following the FDTL related issues. Apart from that, remember cancellation refunds, whether all of it has been done, that needs to be provided, and the baggage return, because remember we also played those visuals of the piles of baggage that were actually there at the number of airports, whether all those things have been looked into and whether they have streamlined the timely information to passengers about rerouting or cancellation. All those point-based agendas will have to be touch-based, and the CEO will have to respond with the same before the DGCA.
All right, Shreya, many thanks for getting us those details. And yes, it is the Gandhis versus BJP over Rahul Gandhi's foreign trip yet again. This time around, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra has defended Rahul Gandhi's foreign visit. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra has said that Prime Minister Modi spends half his time abroad. She's also gone on to say why question LOP's trips. BJP in the meanwhile has said that Rahul Gandhi's foreign trip was during the parliament session. Remember, this is not the first time that the BJP is highlighting this or making this allegation, because time and again BJP has highlighted that Rahul Gandhi has been missing and he's been abroad during most important happenings in the country. Let's listen in.
Modi ji spent almost half his working time outside the country. Why are they raising questions on the leader of the opposition travelling? Modi ji spends almost half his working time outside the country. Why are they raising questions on the leader of the opposition travelling? Modi ji spends almost half his working time outside the country. Why are they raising questions on the leader of the opposition travelling?
And there you hear how Priyanka Gandhi Vadra has come to her brother's rescue over allegations that have been made by the BJP every time they've questioned Rahul Gandhi on his foreign trips. Let me cut across to Rahul Gautam, who's tracking every single development closely. Rahul, but most importantly, the follow-up question here could have been that when it's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who's usually on official visits, Rahul Gandhi's trips are not always official. A lot of them are personal.
Well, this is what Congress has been saying, that, you cannot really equate and compare, the two holidays or two vacations or two foreign trips. If Prime Minister is going, for a foreign trip or for foreign business, that also means that that's his personal life, or that's something that he needs to do for governance or for the government. Similarly, the same rule also applies for Rahul Gandhi, because he also got his personal life and he really wants to go somewhere outside the country. Then one should not have any problem with that. And therefore, Priyanka Gandhi, she took a jibe at Prime Minister, saying that the Prime Minister has no right to question, Rahul Gandhi, leader of opposition, for going abroad, given the fact that he himself has been spending half of his time, half of his tenure outside the country. And in fact, Congress has been, alleging this thing that, whenever the House is in session, Prime Minister often, goes to the foreign country, and he always remains, absent in the House. So you can say that it's a battle of narrative. It's a battle of optics. While BJP is trying to create a narrative that Rahul is a reluctant politician and he is not interested in running or conducting the business of the House, the Congress party is also saying that this also rule applies on Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and in fact he also been not maintaining the required amount of time for Parliament, and this also shows that he is just not serious in conducting the business.
Oh yes, absolutely, Rahul. And the BJP has left no stone unturned to highlight this time and again when it comes to Rahul Gandhi's foreign trips, even to go on to say that when Rahul Gandhi is on public platforms during his visit abroad, he maligns India's reputation and speaks badly of India. So while the BJP continues to push that, then again, Rahul Gandhi's trips often or many a times are also personal. But here we see how Priyanka Gandhi Vadra has come to her brother's rescue. Rahul.
Well, this is a charge that Congress party has been rejected, all the time, that Rahul Gandhi is defaming the country on a foreign soil. In fact, if you remember earlier also when Rahul Gandhi had gone on foreign trips or for foreign universities, at that point of time also he was accused of misrepresenting or distorting facts about Indian democracy and Indian voting system. However, the Congress has always been maintaining that this is not something new. Rahul Gandhi has been repeating the same stance on domestic soil, and therefore one should not have any problem with the same. So therefore, it seems that at least the Congress party is pretty convinced that whatever the charges that BJP is leveling, they are leveling it because of the political biasness, and therefore you can expect that this is also going to become another flashpoint in coming days. The very foreign trip of Rahul Gandhi, which is about to begin, commence from 15th of December.
All right, Rahul, many thanks for putting that into perspective. Like you rightly say, that it is narrative versus narrative coming in from both sides. However, as the BJP continues to highlight Rahul Gandhi's foreign trips, to also how he's not conducted and rather maligned the reputation of India while on foreign soil. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra saying that if Prime Minister can be abroad, why not Rahul Gandhi? Mr. Tom Varakan of the BJP is now with us on the phone line. Mr. Varakan, your response to how Priyanka Gandhi Vadra has defended her brother's foreign trips?
What do you expect from the sister? He is comparing the Prime Minister's visit with the LOP. The difference is stark and very clear. The LOP goes to defame India. He officially announces a trip to Germany. He'll be a few hours in Germany, then he'll land up in Colombia, he'll land up in Bangkok, Malaysia, Vietnam. So his destinations are unknown. His Prime Minister's visits are all under the official scan. He goes there, he gets investments to this country, he develops foreign relations to an extent which has never been seen, even in Rahul Gandhi's grandfather's time. And these are the things that the Prime Minister brings on the table. And the LOP goes around telling people that there's no democracy in India, and that to the extent of the support from foreign countries to intervene in Indian electoral process, to intervene in democratic processes. He insults our institution and speaks evil. I use a strong word against our country. So this is the difference between the Prime Minister's visit and Rahul Gandhi's visit. Please convey this to Priyanka Vadra Gandhi.
Oh yes, absolutely, sir. And certainly could have been a follow-up question to Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. I want to thank you for speaking to India Today this afternoon. And there you see how Priyanka Gandhi Vadra has defended her brother's foreign trips, making that comparison with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's official visits abroad. And we cut across to more breaking news coming in. Former Supreme Court and High Court judges have come to the defense of CJI Suryakant. Former judges who backed CJI over the Rohingya comment. In fact, 44 former judges who've gone on to state that it is a motivated campaign against CJI, also saying that CJI questioned the legal status of Rohingyas. CJI had said that can intruders get legal shield? Pro-Rohingya voices who've now questioned the CJI, but to his defense, standing are former judges. Remember, 44 Supreme Court and High Court judges who've come to the defense of CJI Suryakant, backing him over the comment that he made against the Rohingyas. They've said that it is a motivated campaign against the CJI Suryakant, who had questioned the legal status of Rohingyas. He had said that can intruders get legal shield? And now 44 former Supreme Court and High Court judges who've stood up to defend CJI Suryakant. They've gone on to say that pro-Rohingya voices are questioning the CJI. There is absolutely nothing wrong in the statement that he's made. He had questioned the legal status of Rohingyas, and they say that it is a motivated campaign against CJI Suryakant. Himanshu Mishra joining us on the phone line. Himanshu, हमें और जानकारी दीजिए, ये जो 44 सुप्रीम कोर्ट और हाई कोर्ट जजेस हैं, क्या एक लेटर पेन किया है, उसमें क्या लिखा है कि किस तरह से वो कहते हैं ये एक मोटिवेटेड कैंपेन है?
देखिए, उनका ये जो 44 जजेस हैं, जिनमें सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजेस भी हैं, अनिल दवे हो, हेमंत गुप्ता हो, ये तमाम जो हैं वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट और हाई कोर्ट के जजेस हैं। इन 44 जजेस में जिनका ये कहना है कि रोहिंग्या को लेकर जिस तरीके का कमेंट जो है वो किया गया है सीजीआई के द्वारा, वो उसको लेकर उन्होंने जो है लेटर लिखा है। उनका ये मानना है कि इस तरीके से जो है वो जो है अनएक्सेप्टेबल है। तो कहीं ना कहीं एक मुहिम के तहत जो है ये कहा गया है और पॉइंटर्स में साफ साफ कहा गया है, पॉइंट आउट किया गया, रोहिंग्या हैव नॉट कम टू इंडिया एज ए रिफ्यूजी अंडर इंडियन लॉ। यानी कि आप जो है किसी भी भारतीय लॉ के तहत जो है रोहिंग्या जो है वो भारत में रिफ्यूजी के तौर पर नहीं रह सकते। ये तमाम इस तरीके के कोर्ट्स हैं जिनको मेंशन किया गया है इस लेटर में, और साफ साफ है कि इस तरीके से रोहिंग्या को लेकर जो कहा गया है वो ठीक नहीं है।
जी हिमांशु, धन्यवाद इस जानकारी के लिए। And there you see how the story is now getting bigger. CJI, who had questioned the legal status of Rohingyas, and in his defense are standing former Supreme Court and High Court judges who've defended CJI Surikant. They have penned this letter. They have said that there was nothing wrong with CJI making that comment. They also said that it is a motivated campaign against CJI Surikant and they completely defend him. They also have gone on to say that pro-Rohingya cabal that is now standing against CJI Surikant to create this motivated campaign against him, but to question him is not wrong. And there you see how the Rohingya remark row is now getting bigger, because former Supreme Court and High Court judges who have come to defend CJI Surikant, they've now said that it was a motivated campaign by pro-Rohingya voices who've gone on to question CJI Surikant. And they've also gone on to say that there was nothing wrong in CJI Surikant's statement. Remember, he had gone on to question the legal status of Rohingyas. And while he did that, pro-Rohingya voices who came up, and CJI also going on to say that can Rohingyas get a legal shield? But now, in his defense, are standing 44 former Supreme Court and High Court judges who've defended CJI Surikant. In fact, Shrishti will also join us shortly to take us through the details of how it is now more support coming in for CJI Surikant, where it is none other than eminent judges, both from the top court and respective high courts, who have come out in the defense of CJI Surikant. Before that, we cut across. The latest just coming in of how the High Court has now issued a show cause notice that has also been issued to Indigo to explain why action should not be initiated by the DGCA. The High Court has gone on to say that we appreciate the steps that have been taken by the Ministry of Civil Aviation and the DGCA. However, what bothers us is how such a situation was allowed to precipitate stranding lakhs of passengers unattended at airports across the country. Such a situation affects not only the passengers but also the economy of the country, as in the present days, fast movement of passengers is an important aspect to keep the economy functioning. A show cause notice that has been issued to Indigo by the Delhi High Court, where the Delhi High Court has said, and I quote, appreciate the steps that were taken by the Ministry of Civil Aviation and the DGCA. Also going on to say that why is it that Indigo should not answer, why is it that stringent action should not be taken against Indigo, given the colossal fiasco that was caused because of their inability, their carelessness, and most importantly, what was the motive of doing this? Was it arm twisting the aviation watchdog, the government? or mere carelessness on the part of Indigo? Let me cut across to Nalini Sharma joining us on the phone line with further details of what transpired in the High Court. Most importantly, the show cause notice that has been issued to Indigo.
Prisha, the Delhi High Court is in the process of pronouncing the order after a hearing that went on for almost an hour and a half, where the High Court bench of the Chief Justice pulled up not only the government but also the DGCA and most importantly Indigo for not complying with the norms that they were supposed to comply to according to the FDTL guidelines. And what they've clearly said in their order so far is that number one, most importantly and at the earliest, compensation should be paid to the passengers who were stranded at airports across the country. And they've said that it's important that this is done at the earliest, and the government and the DGCA should ensure that, along with any other damages that they may be privy to regarding the harassment and the problems that they face because of being stranded due to the inoperations and the cancellations of the Indigo flight. Along with that, they've also said that the Indigo must ensure that appropriate numbers of pilots are employed with them to ensure that they can comply with the norms under the FDTL guidelines, which requires the pilots to get a certain amount of rest on a weekly basis to ensure that the passengers at the end of the day remain safe and there are no problems with the flying. Along with that, the DGCA has also been asked what action they have taken so far during the past week since this crisis has arisen, the details of which will have to be provided by the DGCA. Although they've said that they are, the High Court is appreciative of the kind of alacrity with which the government and the DGCA have both acted, but at the same time, the government is the one that allowed this situation to precipitate by not pulling up the airlines earlier, which is why the High Court has taken cognizance of this entire situation in larger public interest. Suresh.
All right, Nalini, many thanks for getting us the latest. And breaking news just coming in of how Rahul Gandhi is now meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Union Home Minister Amit Shah. The meeting has begun. This is regarding key appointments of CIC and CVC. Together, they are to decide on who will take the position of Chief Information Commissioner and Chief Vigilance Commissioner. This is exceedingly important because this would be critical. While several names are doing the rounds and names that have been suggested, it is important that a consensus is sought between the centre and the opposition. For the very same, Rahul Gandhi is now meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah. Let me cut across to Rahul Gautam joining us on the phone line to give us details of how the meeting has begun and what's to transpire, given that these are critical appointments of CIC and CVC.
Well, the meeting has already begun as LOP Rahul Gandhi has reached the Prime Minister's office. We all know that earlier also during the appointment of Chief Election Commissioner, during the appointment of various other important posts, Rahul Gandhi had given a dissent note, for those positions. So we have to really wait and watch whether this time around there would be some consensus on appointment of next CIC and CVC, or as it has happened earlier as well, Rahul Gandhi would be presenting a dissent note. We all know that how Congress has been very critical of the fact that, there are many appointment committees which are heavily tilted in the favor of the government. Remember, this was raised by Congress MP Manish Tiwari, Rahul Gandhi during the discussion on electoral reforms as well. So, obviously, as we speak, Rahul Gandhi, leader of opposition, has already reached Prime Minister's office, and sources are telling us that the meeting has already begun. Shortly from now, we would be knowing whether there was any kind of dissent note presented by Rahul Gandhi, or there was consensus on the names on the panel of names, and we will also be knowing the next names of CIC and CVC just shortly from now.
Details of the names that are in the running and how the process is typically conducted, given the fact that the name that could be in the centre's favour, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Union Home Minister Amit Shah and Rahul Gandhi, all three for the meeting, which is being chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and how exactly will the voting happen?
We know the formation of the committee that includes Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, and LOP Lok Sabha Rahul Gandhi. So obviously 2-1 would be the final say, and expect that shortly from now, given the fact that as I was telling you earlier also that given the fact that whatever the name would be coming up from government side, if there is consensus, then it would be a consensual candidate. But if there's going to be any objection coming in from Rahul Gandhi, he would try to put it on a record, his objections by putting forward a dissent note. However, these things we would know very shortly from now, given the fact that names we already know that are making rounds, but there hasn't been any name that has been finalized or a sort of given green signal. So for that, we have to really wait for some time for clarity to trickle in. But obviously, these two are very important positions, given the fact that Chief Information Commissioner and CVC Vigilance Commissioner, all these positions have been very integral and critical for the functioning of the government, and therefore the appointment was made in a way that LOP should also have a say. So we have to really wait and watch that how the appointment process goes through. It is going to be a very smooth one, or whether there's going to be some dissent coming to the fore.
Oh yes, absolutely, Rahul, and very integral, very functional, very critical, because the role would also expect a person to be in position who could maintain a neutral stand, for the very reason that Rahul Gandhi is also present for that meeting, while to understand that the decision will be taken on 2:1 basis. However, Rahul Gandhi's dissent, if any, will be put on record. How long is this meeting expected to last?
Well, Rahul Gandhi reached us a short while back, so it is expected that that the meeting would be wrapped somewhere around 40 to 50 minutes. But again, for that also we have to really wait for the clarity. One thing is very important here, that given the fact that because Rahul Gandhi has left for this important meeting from the Parliament, he was there in Lok Sabha, and after meeting Mallikarjun Kharge, who was also Congress President, obviously the two must have discussed this process and this issue. So obviously he would have taken a go ahead from Mallikarjun Kharge, and then he headed for this important meeting. So we have to really wait and watch that whether there was this process was conducted very smoothly, or whether there were objections that were put forward by Rahul Gandhi.
Oh yes, and journalists would also want to know what really transpired through this meeting, what the body language was. However, the decision that we will know in some time from now. Rahul Gautam, we'll keep coming back to you for further updates. Like you're saying, it's expected to last for about 40 to 45 minutes. So post 2 p.m. is when there could be clarity. We will continue to keep our viewers updated. For the moment, thank you, Rahul. With that, it's time for us to slip into a very short commercial break. On the other side is our special segment, So South, where you get to see all those stories that are dominating the headlines from down south. Do stay tuned.
President Putin's arrival in India, a high-stakes moment in global geopolitics. As global alignments shift, his visit comes at a pivotal time for India-Russia relations. India Today magazine brings an exclusive conversation with President Putin on the changing global landscape, India's growing role in the global south, and the rise of new international forums. Catch the full interview in the latest issue of India Today, Making Sense of India. Subscribe now. Subscriptions.intoday.in. Also available on Amazon and Blinkit.
I'm Sana. Here's your weather update. Delhi maximum 26 and minimum 10 degrees. Mumbai maximum 29 and minimum 23 degrees. Kolkata maximum 28 and minimum 16 degrees. Bengaluru maximum 26 and minimum 16 degrees. Chennai maximum 27 and minimum 23 degrees. Hyderabad maximum 28 and minimum 14 degrees.
Thank you for staying with India Today, and well, a full circle fairy tale that is straight out of the NYC subway and onto the world's most powerful runway. India's own Bhavita Mandava, who has just done what no Indian model has ever done before. She's opened a show for the legendary French fashion house Chanel. Yes, history, couture and a whole lot of confidence just walked hand in hand. Take a look. The fashion world has a brand new headline, and it walks straight out of Hyderabad, through the New York subway and onto Chanel's most coveted runway. Bhavita Mandava has just become the first Indian model ever to open a Chanel show. A historic moment, Bhavita didn't need feathers, sequins or theatrics. She stormed the Matiya Dea 2026 runway in peak Chanel cool. A luxe beige quarter zip, classic denim and that unmistakable Chanel flat back. Effortless but era-defining. The message was clear. Global talent is the new couture currency. The iconic moment of her Chanel walk quickly went viral, but the most adorable reaction was from her parents. But Bhavita's story starts way before the runway lights. Before fashion found her, Bhavita was deep in the world of design and tech. A Bachelor of Architecture from JNTU Hyderabad and then a Master's in Integrated Design and Media from NYU. Yes, she really had nothing to do with fashion before. And through it all, one place kept showing up in her life, the New York subway. Because in 2024, that same subway turned into destiny. Bottega Veneta's then creative director, Matthew Blasey, spotted her, and 2 weeks later, her life changed forever. Soon after, global campaign, Dior, Courrèges, every door that once closed suddenly swung open. Chanel chose to open its 2026 show inside a subway station, and Bhavita walked through them as the face of one of fashion's most prestigious houses. Her story has come full circle. Bhavita Mandava has opened doors for so many more brown models, with her fairy tale subway student to Chanel model story. Bureau Report, India Today. And moving on, as 25 lives were lost, it's been 3 days of outrage And now the noose tightening around those behind Goa's nightclub horror. After an Interpol blue corner notice that was issued against brothers Gaurav and Saurabh Luthra, the duo have now moved an anticipatory bail plea in Delhi's Rohini court. Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant has vowed that the wanted owners will soon be arrested. He added that strict action will be taken against those who flout rules across Goa. So far, 6 people have been arrested, 3 government officials who've been suspended. India Today confronted Ajay Gupta, who was arrested by the cops and claimed to only be a sleeping partner with the Luthras. He said that he had no role to play in Birch nightclub fire and that he was unaware of lapses. However, GST documents accessed by India Today shows Ajay Gupta registered as one of the active partners with Luthra brothers. Goa police has also written to the passport office seeking immediate cancellation of both their passports, a move aimed at preventing any attempt to flee further. In the aftermath of the inferno, Goa Chief Minister has ordered sweeping action against all illegally built clubs and coastal properties, calling for demolition wherever violations are found. Meanwhile, the S.I.R into Birch fire paints a damning picture: no mandatory fire audit, no safety clearance, and a dangerous flame show that was being held in a packed club with zero safeguards.
नमस्ते। एजेंडा आज तक 2025 में आप सबका स्वागत है। हम अभी एक खास बातचीत करके आए हैं मॉस्को, रशिया में प्रेसिडेंट पुतिन के साथ। अगर आप आज तक के दर्शक हैं या खबर देखते हैं तो मुझे यकीन है कि आपने ये बातचीत देखी होगी। इसकी दुनिया भर में बड़ी चर्चा हुई। मैं इसे एक मिसाल के तौर पे लेना चाहती हूँ कुछ बातें कहने के लिए अपने देश और अपने चैनल के बारे में। सबसे पहले सवाल था, हमें चुना कैसे गया? रशिया की टीम ने महीनों जांच और पड़ताल की। उन्होंने आंकड़े, रेटिंग, इम्पैक्ट और भरोसा पर डेटा देखा, फिर आज तक को अपना मंच चुना। ये सिर्फ आज तक के लिए नहीं, बल्कि एक सम्मान था पूरे देश के लिए कि एक इंडियन चैनल को चुना गया। हमने भी ठान लिया, हमारे लिए ये इंटरव्यू नहीं, एक मिशन था कि सब ग्लोबल चैनल से बेहतर करना है। क्रेमलिन की आकटीना हॉल में जब हम गए तो हमारी टीम ने सजावट और रोशनी में कुछ बदलाव मांगे। रशियंस हैरान हुए कि एक छोटी इंडियन टीम इतनी बारीकी से डिमांड कर रही है। कोई भी दूसरे ग्लोबल टीम ने ऐसे चेंजेस नहीं मांगे, लेकिन उन्होंने कोऑपरेट किया। रिजल्ट देखकर उन्हें भी लगा कि इंडियंस अपने काम में माहिर हैं और माना कि प्रोफेशनलिज्म में किसी से कम नहीं। जब बातचीत ख़त्म हुई तो रशियन टीम ने हमारे एंकर्स अंजना ओम कश्यप और गीता मोहन के सवालों और तालमेल की तारीफ़ की। प्रेसिडेंट ने इतना वक्त दिया, 7 मिनट का इंटरव्यू था, 100 मिनट का हो गया, क्योंकि उन्हें लगा कि ये बातचीत खुलकर और नए अंदाज में थी। दुनिया भर का रिस्पांस रशियन टीम के लिए भी बेहतरीन अनुभव में से था, और ये सिर्फ आज तक की जीत नहीं, ये हमारे देश की जीत थी। एक इंडियन चैनल ने ग्लोबल हेडलाइंस बनाई। न्यूयॉर्क टाइम्स, वॉशिंगटन पोस्ट, BBC, CNN, फाइनेंशियल टाइम्स, गार्डियन, रशिया टीवी, दुनिया के सबसे बड़े मीडिया ब्रांड्स सब ने हमारे इंटरव्यू को उठाया और उस पे चर्चा की। हमने वो सवाल पूछे जो वेस्टर्न मीडिया नहीं पूछ रही थी। हमने एक परसेप्शन तोड़ा कि इंडियन मीडिया विश्व के मुद्दों पर हिस्सा नहीं ले सकता। उस दिन इंडिया का पर्सपेक्टिव दुनिया के सबसे बड़े मंचों पर सुनाई दिया। वैसे भी नई राह बनाना हमारी पहचान है। आपका भरोसा जो है, यही आपका साथ है जो हमें कॉन्फिडेंस देता है। बड़ी से बड़ी मंजिल पर पहुंचने के लिए। इसलिए सबसे बड़ा थैंक यू आपको। पिछले साल मैंने आपको अपनी एक रिपोर्ट कार्ड दी थी अपने काम पर, क्योंकि यहाँ हम सिर्फ न्यूज़ को कवर नहीं करते, उसको फॉलो भी करते हैं। इस साल भी नौकरी के मुद्दे हों, परीक्षा के परिणाम हो, नकली दवाइयों की बात हो, पोल्यूशन हो, गैर कानूनी क्लब्स रेस्टोरेंट्स हो, मिसिंग कॉम्पनसेशन हो या मिसिंग ब्रिज, और हाल में ही हवाई जहाज़ के टिकट की समस्या, हमने आपकी आवाज़ को हमेशा एम्पलीफाई करने की कोशिश की है ताकि वो सभी जगह जाके पहुँचे और इस खबर पर एक्शन हो और हम सब का कल बेहतर बने। ऐसे काम पर हमारा फोकस रहता है। हमारे सारे रिपोर्टर्स और टीम इसको अपना धर्म और कर्म मानते हैं। आज तक की ब्रेकिंग न्यूज़ नहीं, ब्रेकिंग इम्पैक्ट सुनाती हूँ। ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में जो घर टूटे उनको बनाने के लिए हमने मुहिम चलाई। आमी ने हमें कल रात ही फ़ोन किया कि वो घर बन गए हैं, बिल्कुल टाइम से। कड़ाके की ठंड से पहले घर बन गए हैं, ये पहला कदम है, लेकिन टूटे दिल को जोड़ने में अभी वक्त लगेगा और हम उस पर भी काम जारी रखेंगे, क्योंकि रेटिंग्स और अवार्ड्स तो हैं ही, पर असली इनाम तो आपका भरोसा है। वही हमें हर साल नई मंजिल तय करने की शक्ति देता है। और दोस्तों, ज़िंदगी अक्सर अनेक अजीब मोड़ लाती है। कभी अचानक घटनाएं, कभी फ्रीक एक्सीडेंट्स, कभी ऐसे पल जो हम सोच भी नहीं सकते। ऐसे समय में सबसे ज़रूरी होता है कि आपके पास कोई साथी हो जिस पर आप भरोसा कर सकते हैं। आज तक अपने दर्शकों के लिए वही साथी है, एक भरोसेमंद हमसफ़र, हमराही, जो हर कठिन समय में आपके साथ खड़ा है, जो सच को आप तक पहुंचाता है और जो आपको याद दिलाता है कि जब दुनिया में प्रॉब्लम्स बहुत हों तब भी भारत की आवाज़ मजबूत है। ये है आपका अपना आज तक, ये है आपकी आवाज़। और आइए अब हम मिलकर तय करते हैं देश का एजेंडा। शुक्रिया।
थैंक यू सो मच। और हम अगले सेशन की तरफ बढ़ें, अपने सेशन की शुरुआत करें, उससे पहले मैं अपने स्पॉन्सर का
Vanakkam, Namaskara, good afternoon and a big welcome. This is So South on India Today, where we get you all the southern news that matters to you. Go to destination for the south here on India Today. And joining me are the team of reporters spanning across all the 6 states here in southern part of India. Sagai Raj from Belgaum, Pramod Madhav from Chennai, Anaga Keshav from Chennai, Apurva Jayachandran from Vijayawada, Abdul Bashir from Hyderabad and Shibi Mol from Trivandrum in Kerala. And let's begin the bulletin with stories coming in from Karnataka. And the first story is the Dharmasthala plot that has been busted. The Dharmasthala plot has been busted by the special investigative team here in Karnataka. The investigation team has busted the so-called Mass Pariyalai factory in the Dakshin Kannada. The SIT has submitted its initial findings to the Beltangdi court while seeking more time for a full investigation or probe. As per the initial findings, the SIT said that it was manufactured narrative which aimed at defaming the Dharmasthala and the surroundings. Investigators say that accused were paid, coached and hand-planted evidence to script a fake narrative or a story, from procured skulls to tutored video statements as well. The conspiracy trail now heads straight to the anti-temple lobby caught red-handed. Listening to all the reactions coming in on the story, on the story.
ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಉಲ್ಲೇಖ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಸರ್.
ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಶೀಟ್ ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ. ತೂರ್ದಾಲ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಲೆಟರ್ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. I had openly said in the assembly that there is a conspiracy against Dharmasthala, because I know what is going on. Though some of our leaders had asked me about that also, I knew that this is not the fact. A big conspiracy is going on. But ultimately the truth has been prevailed. Justice has been given to them. So I don't like to, I have not seen the charge sheet again. I have been heard from all of you. But the law has to take its own course. Because this type of conspiracy will damage institutions which has come from generation.
केवल तिमरोडी चिन्नैया का साजिश है, उनके पीछे बड़ा बड़ा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वो लोग हुए, वो भी जांच करना. एसआईटी गठित किया है ना, तिमरोडी का बात सुन करके गठित किया है क्या? किसके वजह से गठित किया? सब लोगों को पहले भी मालूम था धर्मस्थल ऐसा नहीं करता है. उसके बाद में भी एसआईटी गठित किया. मुझे लगता है बहुत प्रभावी लोग सरकार के ऊपर भी प्रभाव डाल करके एसआईटी गठित करवाया है.
The truth should come out. Whoever is involved in the entire episode, action should be taken. They should be punished, and we look forward for this investigation and for the inquiry to get completed as early as possible for the justice to prevail.
Over here, whatever the investigation has revealed, it has revealed, and everybody has to bow down to it. In fact, it was the Chief Minister's and the Deputy Chief Minister's prerogative to start an SIT. There are so much of speculations and so much of media coverage on this, and media trial and everything. So whatever is there, I'm not privy to the exact investigation details, and I'm a spokesperson to the party and not the government. So on behalf of what I can say on the party, what I can say is wait till the entire investigation is done, until the charge sheet is submitted or whatever their final report is submitted. And if somebody is clear of it, more than welcome. If somebody, whoever has done wrong in this, whether this, those who were involved in fabrication and, trying to malign this particular religious institution which has been there for tens of hundreds of years and being worshipped by so many people, they deserve to be punished with the most stringent punishment.
Joining me live is Sagai Raj from Belgaum. Sagai, I remember you had spoken to the masked man also back then. It was a big exclusive on India Today. Now the SIT is saying this. All the narratives were fake, evidence were planted, statements were fake, created, fake narrated. What do you have to say about this? What is the SIT saying on the whole issue and as the investigation completely over?
SIT has requested for more time to investigate further in multiple angles, and they have also requested the court to allow them to arrest the accused involved in this particular case, including Chinnaya, Mahesh Shetty Timurudi, Girish Patanavar, Jayant, and few other people who are part of this particular case. And the police have categorically mentioned that they have examined a lot of proofs, and including the skull that he had produced initially when he appeared before the court. And they say that it was fabricated to ensure that to defame the temple. And they have also mentioned that probably once they investigate further and once they get to know the bank trials and everything, they will get a clear picture what was the agenda, who were the people who were funding behind this particular conspiracy against Dharmasthala.
Requesting you to stay back with me for the next story as well. Moving on, further stories in Karnataka. It's day 2 of assembly session in Belgaum, and the Karnataka government is all set to discuss the much debated Karnataka Hate Speech and the Crime Prevention Bill 2025. While the Congress is keen on getting this bill passed in the assembly, BJP is seeking a long discussion on the bill in the assembly as well. The bill aims to prevent dissemination, publication and promotion of hate speech. Other provisions of the bill include curbing of hate crimes that led to social disharmony, hatred, and punishing individuals, groups and organizations that involved in such offences. The bill also pushes for punishment for such hate crimes as well. For those committing the offence for the first time, 1 to 7 years of imprisonment plus a rupees 50,000 fine. For repeat offenders, the bill proposes 2 to 10 years of imprisonment along with rupees 1 lakh fine. Offences will now be cognizable, non-bailable and tried by the judicial magistrate of the first class. The government, meanwhile, claims that the bill aims to create no disturbance in the society. Congress also said that the bill does not suppress dissent and that hatred will be dealt by stringent actions of the law. Listening to reactions coming in from both BJP and the Congress, where this issue, both the parties have locked horns in the assembly.
Either it is against any community, caste, region, it is against those who are disturbing the peace of the society by doing irresponsible criticism and provoking people. Hate speech bill is intended to protect the peace of the society.
Government is trying to distract the assembly as well as the people of Karnataka from their administrative failures. So they are getting in such bills. And the second thing is they are trying to curb the voice of the opposition. They are trying to curb the voice of the opposition. They don't want any of us to speak against the government, speak against their misdeeds, speak against the corruption.
Joining me live is Sagai Raj. Sagai, I heard the Home Minister in fact table the bill in preliminary stage in the morning. When is the Speaker taking up for discussion? What are the clauses that the BJP are vehemently opposing?
Home Minister G. Parmeshwar has tabled the bill around 11:30 and it will be taken up for discussion probably end of today or probably tomorrow. And if you notice that many of the leaders were unaware what exactly is there inside the bill. Many of them said that let them table, let us look into the bill, then later on we will discuss. However, Bharat Shetty, who spoke to media, went on to say that it is just a diversion tactic to divert the main discussion of non-development and there is a political crisis within the government, and in order to avoid that they are trying to bring this particular bill. And he has also categorically mentioned that this is to target their workers and this is an agenda of Congress to curb the freedom of speech for BJP as well as their workers, and they say that they will oppose this particular bill. However, the Congress says that it is their agenda. D.K. Shivakumar has mentioned that it is an agenda and we are committed to this. And giving clarification on the bill, the Parliamentary and Law Minister went on to say that it is against anything which provokes the people, anything which disrupts the peace in the society, and they will ensure that they will not allow this. And remember, they have categorically mentioned that the first-time offender will have to face close to 7 years of imprisonment and 50,000 rupees of penalty, and the repeated offender have to be behind bars for 10 years and 1 lakh rupees fine. So these are the new amendments which has been brought to this hate speech law.
Thank you, Sagai. In fact, this is one of the kind of a bill that the Karnataka government is bringing in, that people who troll on social media will have to keep a watch, because you invoke communal violence through social media, then you will be dealt by the law, is what the new bill that the government is trying to bring in the assembly. These are the stories from Karnataka, and now we'll move on to the neighbouring state of Andhra Pradesh. Apurva Jayachandran will take it from here.
Pradesh, there is a lot that is going on right now. In fact, Andhra Pradesh Deputy Chief Minister Pawan Kalyan has called for a Sanatana Rakshana Board. Not only that, he's also talking about the Madurai Kartika Deepam incident. He talks how parties have been, pseudo-secular. Let's listen in to this exclusive conversation. Speaking to India Today, Pawan Kalyan has not only spoken about the Kartikeya Deepam issue, which is ongoing in Tamil Nadu, in Madurai bench. The court has also been going on and taken up this incident of the Kartikeya Deepam incident. And Pawan Kalyan talking about, this has talked about the Sabarimala case, how the court had given a verdict that had already, heard the religious sentiments of devotees. And now let's listen to what Pawan Kalyan has spoken to us. We've talked about the Madurai Tiruparagundram, issue, Kartikeya Deepam issue. You've put a tweet also on it. What do you have to say?
I feel it is, how can you go for an impeachment thought? Which I don't understand with the Indian alliance. That's the reason why I have did it. Had they done it before? Even the former Supreme Court Chief Justice also had said something which was not palatable for any Hindu in this nation. But people felt bad. But when some kind of attack happened and the entirety of the entire communication, people have communicated, that's not the right thing to do. And also there are many judgments in Sabarimala, Supreme Court intervened, but I said people had shown their displeasure, but never this way. I feel that this is not the right precedent. It won't set the right precedent, and you are communicating to public. You are threatening judges. You are threatening judiciary. Anything which doesn't fit into our line of thinking or our frame of thinking about secularism. This is how we're going to read. It is there. Some kind of, I look at it as a kind of threatening.
So do you think the DMK is trying to, infiltrate these kind of ideologies?
It is, I don't know whether DMK, whoever does it, not just for one incident, I'm saying anybody in this nation, if they keep doing this way, I think people who are hurt, I think they should be very vocal, they should be very open about it, and they said they have to condemn this kind of practice.
As a protector of Sanatana Dharma, how do you see these kind of instances coming up? Sabarimala incident, we saw what the verdict was.
See, I'm telling you, this is every Hindu's responsibility. If you look at something happens in Palestine, even in my own Pitapuram, my constituency, some people will come and say that they hold Palestinian flags. But when it comes to any Hindu attack on Hindu traditions, on desecration of Hindu gods and goddesses, the problem is I am not the only protector for Sanatana Dharma. It is every Hindu who goes and prays to temple. It is everyone's responsibility. That's what I've been even recently, as I had said, people should learn, Hindus should learn from Muslims. Hindus should learn from Muslim community how they safeguard their religion. I think that's what every Hindu should learn from a Muslim, how to safeguard your religion when it is being attacked, when it is being desecrated. I think this is very essential. And eventually that kind of action will empower, strengthen Sanatana Dharma Parirakshana Board. No matter endowments come under the state rule, and they, with their whims and fancies, if a good leader is there, okay, it can't be that the whims and fancies of state leadership. There should be one universal thought. People are not, they don't dare to do such things for Islam. Right. They don't dare to do for Muslims. They don't do for Christianity. Why only for Hindus? Because in fact, Hindus having the concept is everyone says, okay, we are majority, Hindus are majority, but Hindus are very kind of minorities. They are Tamil Hindus. There is a subdivision of castes. So in fact, I look at it in such a way, being from if you look at like Hindus are composition is majority in this nation, but actually Hindus are so fragmented. That's the reason I think all such kind of acts are happening.
So of recent, we've seen a lot of cases going on where hundis have been hunted down. In Tirumala also, we saw Jagan Mohan Reddy's statement on the Parakamani loot saying, Chinna neram chesaru.
Yeah, it's a small mistake. I think that shows, I think, it doesn't matter. Would they dare to do the same thing for Islam? Would they dare to do this for their own religion? No, they won't. Because a Hindu leader should be should be in control about when you speak to other religions. But any other leader who calls themselves as pseudo-seculars who call them as seculars, but in my view, they're pseudo-seculars and some NGOs. Whatever comes to their mouth, whatever comes into their head, they blurt it out. I think this is what happens even in the case of previous regime chief minister also.
So, Tirumala, we've seen Laddu scam take place. We've seen Parakamani scam take place. Today, there's a dupatta scam that has taken place. Silk vastralu, pattu vastralu also, there's a scam that is allegedly taken place. How do you see the last regime's, vision for what they had? Do you think it's a malice that had intended by them?
First thing, there is wherever there is money. In fact, when I was talking about Tirupati, adulteration of Tirupati Laddu, yes, I didn't blame a single religion. I was blaming individuals.
Correct.
Who are these individuals? If you look at their religion, they're more or less they're Hindus. Here, when I'm saying adulteration of Tirupati Laddu does not mean I'm targeting other religions. I'm saying, okay, these are the people who had done this kind of scam, I punish them. Because to escape that, I think these guys are finding alternatives. First of all, you put your house in order. That's what I think Hindus should get into. Put your house in order before blaming anybody.
Do you think it's right time, it's more than time now for, Sanatana Dharma Rakshana Board to be, instated? Be it in Andhra Pradesh, be it in Tamil Nadu.
I look at it. For example, if you say the entire, for a Muslim, there is a one in Jama Masjid, like there is one Islamic board is there, Waqf board is there. So for 25 crore of Muslim, there is a Waqf board, and each and every Muslim will listen to that. How come we don't have that kind of board? If anything happens, something happens in Tirupur Kundram, why it should be confined to only people of that particular area? We let it be state. The problem is, it does not go beyond that particular Madurai area.
Correct.
Forget about its extending with it won't even go till Tamil Nadu. So I think such incidents, somewhere something happens in Palestine, here people are going to have an opinion. How come something happens in your neighboring state? How come we don't? Because if we don't stand for each other, irrespective of whether which caste you are, which caste Hindu you are, which region, which language you speak, all of you should come under common minimum program. And that common minimum program is, I feel, Sanatana Dharma Rakshana. That's how I look at it.
So the recent Indigo issue, what do you have to comment on that, sir? There's a lot of mudsludging against TDP and the NDA alliance here by YSRCP and other parties saying because Ram Mohan Naidu is at center, this is why.
I don't know, because it's more of a union government issue, in which I don't have a great understanding about it. But from my point of view, I think some mistake is, better not to make it, blow it out of proportion. Like somewhere all of us should look into it and we should tone down.
All right, thank you. Well, there you heard Andhra Pradesh Deputy Chief Minister Pawan Kalyan. Speaking to India Today. In fact, he's gone on and stated that there must be action against these pseudo-secularists. That's all from the state of Andhra Pradesh. Back to you, Nagarjun.
With that, it's a wrap on today's episode of So South. We'll see you once again tomorrow at 1 p.m. with a power-packed 30 minutes of all the southern news that matter to you. Thank you and keep watching India Today.
Will Indigo flight cuts lead to massive airfare hikes? This winter, 2016 Indigo flights have been cut. Air India has added just 12 flights yesterday. The total flights cut are more than combined fleet strength of Akasa and SpiceJet. Special investigation team has busted the so-called mass burial live factory. Investigators say the accused were paid, coached and handed planted evidence to script a fake story. After Laddu, now silk dupatta scam in Tirumala, where 54 crore rupees worth scam of silk dupattas in Tirumala temple, fake silk dupattas that were supplied for 10 years. They were promised silk, however, they were selling polyester dupattas for 15,000 rupees each. And first up, we get you details on Predator Congress MLA Mama Kuttatalli, where the Thiruvananthapuram Principal Sessions Court has granted anticipatory bail to Congress MLA Rahul in the second case that was registered against him. The bail is on multiple conditions. The court has granted anticipatory bail with various conditions. The MLA must appear before the investigative officers every Monday is one of those conditions. He should not try and destroy any evidence. He should cooperate with investigative officials, and he should certainly not influence any witnesses. Let me cut across to Shibi Mol, joining us live with further details on Congress MLA Rahul, who has gotten bail with several conditions that have been imposed.
Major relief for Rahul Mangudathil MLA. He's no longer a Congress MLA because Congress party has dismissed him from the primary membership of the party. But he continues to the MLA, and the party has said that, he will have to resign on his own is what the party has said. This is in the second case that's been registered against him. There are two sexual assault cases registered against him. In the first case, the Thiruvananthapuram Principal Sessions Court had dismissed his bail, anticipatory bail plea, and the High Court had granted him protection from arrest till December 15 till the case is concerned. In the second case, hearing went on Monday. Full hearing went on, and the investigative team had submitted the statement of the victim also. Post that, the verdict was posted for today, and that's when he has got major relief from the Thiruvananthapuram Principal Sessions Court, as they have granted him anticipatory bail with multiple conditions. The most important is he has to appear before the investigative team every Monday, and he needs to cooperate with the investigation, do not try to influence the witnesses, and also do not destroy evidences. These are all basic conditions that's imposed when an anticipatory bail is granted to the accused in a case. Now, the most important part is he's been absconding since the last 13 days. 27th November was when the first case was registered against. First complaint was forwarded to the police by a victim in this in the whole series of cases that came out against him, and since then he has been absconding. So with him getting protection in both the cases, now we'll have to see if he's going to appear in the coming days before the investigative team, because there's also allegations and there's also criticism against the investigative team also, as they failed to catch him in the last 13 days. It's not a very normal figure. He's a very influential person, an MLA, a very prominent MLA he was a very prominent MLA. He has been a young face of the Congress party for the last many years. So there's been allegations and criticism directed at the police team also for failing to catch him since the last 13 days. So now we'll have to see, since he's protected from in both the cases as of now, we'll have to see if he's going to appear and cooperate with the investigation in the coming days.
What happens, we'll keep coming back to you for further updates. For the moment, many thanks for getting us the latest. And we are getting details of how DGCA officers are all set to carry out an immediate on-site inspection of airports. Amid the Indigo crisis, on-site inspection of 11 airports that has been ordered. DGCA officials are all set to assess safety, operational preparedness, passenger facilitation measures and airline responsiveness during the ongoing disruption. A DGCA order that has now been released, according to which DGCA officers shall carry out immediate on-site inspections at 11 airports. The purpose of these inspections, that is to primarily assess safety, operational preparedness, passenger facilitation measures and airline responsiveness during the ongoing disruption. DGCA that is now getting down to action when it comes to really taking stock of the larger situation that exists at airports. Let me cut across to Amit Bhardwaj joining us live. Amit, give us a sense of what these 11 airports are that have been shortlisted for this inspection. When does it start and what criteria is the DGCA looking at?
Suesa, what happened is that after the Indigo crisis, you had multiple fronts that were opened by the Ministry of Civil Aviation, including dealing with the crisis, reprimanding and cracking the whip on Indigo, as well as ensuring that the business at the airports continue to be as normal as it used to be. And that is why yesterday you saw as to how the Ministry of Civil Aviation had sent its own employees, officers to different airports in order to ensure that everything at the airports are fine and feedback is taken from the passengers from the ground itself. And now even DGCA has asked its officers to be deployed at least 11 airports across the country, and these airports would also include airports such as Nagpur, Jaipur, Bhopal, Surat, Tirupati, Vijayawada, Sirdi, Cochin, Lucknow, Dehradun and Amritsar. So primarily the focus yesterday was on the metro airports, the bigger airports where the passenger load is quite high. Now the DGCA would be reaching out to much varied sample airports where you have people coming from different states, and these are not the first category airports, rather, except for Lucknow, Amritsar and Jaipur, Bhopal. The other airports are smaller ones in comparison of passenger load. But even then, DGC officials have been sent here and they have been asked to, check the operational as well as safety aspects at these airports. Along with that, also speak to the passengers on the ground as to what are their feedback in terms of the crisis that unfolded last week and whether it has been sorted out or not. Back to you.
Amit, I request you to stay on with us. All our focus on what really is transpiring as far as DGCA's action is concerned, even as trouble continues to mount for Indigo. The DGCA has summoned Indigo CEO Peter Elbers and other top officials to appear on Thursday at 3 p.m, that is tomorrow. This comes after the centre announced that it has cut back Indigo's winter schedule by 10%, increasing the previous 5% curtailment following a meeting between Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu and Indigo CEO Peter Elbers. The Delhi High Court has wrapped the centre and the DGCA over the crisis and has issued a show cause notice to Indigo. Top sources have also informed India Today that government will redistribute 10% curtailed operations of Indigo to other air operators. They added that the decision will lead to a situation where Indigo's operations market share will come down by 55 to 57%. However, Indian carriers may struggle to fill the Indigo void, as sources suggest that the flight cuts exceed the combined fleets of Akasa, SpiceJet, which could lead to a hike in airfares. Meanwhile, Air India and SpiceJet have added more flights at the moment to be able to meet the demand.
Passengers' interests have been at the center of every decision taken by the government. We intervened to cap fares so that no passenger would be exploited due to the sudden demand spikes and opportunistic pricing. Indigo was ordered to issue refunds promptly, and as informed by them, more than 750 crore has already reached the passengers. For the passengers who wanted the rebookings to be done, the same were done without any additional charges. We are monitoring each and every case of baggage handling over and ensuring that communication with passengers is both timely and dignified. As informed by Indigo, process of refunds, baggage handling are over in its final stages. Our 24/7 control room continues to assist passengers directly whenever needed.
We continue to work in full cooperation with the government. And now that the immediate crisis is dealt with, we started to focus internally on what has led to this, lessons learned to be drawn, and how to emerge stronger from this.
Meanwhile, the politics continues to escalate over this crisis. Listen into voices coming in.
There's a lot of mudsludging against TDP and the India alliance here by YSRCP and other parties saying because Ram Mohan Naidu is at centre, this is why.
I don't know because it's more of a union government issue, which I don't have a great understanding about. But from my point of view, I think some mistake is better not to make it blow it out of proportion. Like somewhere all of us should look into it and we should tone down.
The DGCA should have monitored the airline to see whether they're actually recruiting people. They had enough time to recruit it. There was no monitoring by the DGCA. And secondly, when the airline applied for extra 500 routes during the winter schedule, they gave them permission without asking them the crucial question whether they have the capacity to cater to this new demand. Have they recruited more pilots? Because they need to give them more rest. Instead of doing all this, they just gave them permission. So it's a collective failure of the management of Indigo, of the DGCA and the ministry.
सरकार का एविएशन मिनिस्ट्री मुंशी बन गए रह गया, एयरलाइन अपनी नहीं, एयरपोर्ट अपने नहीं, तो कंट्रोल किस बात का है इनका? एयरपोर्ट प्राइवेट लोग चलाएंगे, एयरलाइन प्राइवेट लोग चलाएंगे, तो आपका कंट्रोल क्या है? कानून आपके पास नहीं, कानून से आप कंट्रोल कर सकते हो, कानून भी आपके पास नहीं, आप तो रेगुलेशन पर चला रहे हो, नियमों पे थोड़ा ही ना चलेगा, कानून से चलेगा, कानून बनाइए. ठीक है.
It's a good development after all the opposition asking for some justification. They have called all the airlines, they sat with them and they have discussed. All we want to say is such situations should not arise again. If at all DGCA wants to implement some rules, they would have cross-checked with the airlines because airlines, as yesterday Ram Mohan Naidu said that yes, Indigo has given assurance that they are going to fall in guidelines and everything is ready and they are ready with the rosters and everything. But end of the day when they started implementing, it went wrong. So who suffered is a very important thing here. Neither Ram Mohan Naidu has suffered, neither we have suffered in the parliament. The people who have suffered is the common man across the country.
एक चीज पे लोगों को सोचना होगा, आखिर अकस्मात इंडिगो की ये समस्या क्यों आई? वो एक आदेश से आई. आदेश तो इंडिगो का था नहीं, आदेश किसका था? आदेश सिविल एविएशन मिनिस्ट्री का था. उस आदेश के तहत ये कहा कि इतने पायलट्स को रेस्ट करना है, वो करना. मान लो पायलट पूरे नहीं, 100 पायलट में एक सप्ताह में 50 पायलट रेस्ट करने लगे तो प्लेन कौन उड़ाएगा? यही तो बस गड़बड़ी हुई. 10% कम कर दिया उसका, 10% किन्हें मिलेगा? टाटा को मिलेगा और टाटा को अडानी लेने जा रहे हैं. Everybody knows it.
Going back to my colleague Amit Bharwaj, who continues to stay with us on the broadcast. Amit, it is not just the opposition, but even the Delhi High Court that today pulled down the government and DGCA over the very fact that the situation was allowed to precipitate. And they were questioned on what they were doing while Indigo was making a mess out of this. Now, fact is that tomorrow 3 p.m. is when Peter Elbers has also been summoned and that meeting will happen. But given the price hike at the moment and other airline carriers who may not be able to scale operations in such a short time, by when is the situation likely to stabilize?
So yes, if you look at the larger picture in terms of the Indigo disruption, that has come to almost very reduced shape, and whatever cancellations are happening right now, they are planned cancellations. For instance, for Delhi airport, there has been an entire roster chart out has been done for cancellations for the entire week, which is as planned over 750 for Delhi. So similar planning has been done for different airports in order to ensure that the passengers do not end up reaching the airport and then find out that their crafts are not flying anymore. So advance announcements are being done. But what is very important to note out here, Swesha, when Peter Elbers, the CEO of Indigo, and the higher-ups within Indigo will be, disposing themselves in front of the DGCA, they will be asked for detailed report on the refunds on baggage return, but more importantly, on hiring process. So the entire issue, the crunch of fiasco started from the fact that Indigo had pilot crunch, and Civil Aviation Minister has said this on the floor of the House as well in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So now DGCA is going to ask them very direct questions and detailed report in terms of the hiring plan. So how many pilots and crew, what is the crew strength, that will be asked from them. What is the hiring process for them in the months to come? DGCA is going to ask for a detailed report on that, as well as to whether and how they are going to follow to the new regime of the FDTL, because of which the entire chaos happened within Indigo. So these questions will be asked from them as well. Back to you.
All right, Amit, many thanks for getting us the latest. We'll keep coming back to you for further updates. For the moment, more breaking news coming in. India Today has accessed the Luthra's anticipatory bail plea, a copy of which has been accessed by India Today. Remember, the Luthra brothers were hiding in Phuket and they had fled within a few hours of that fire that had broken, and they knew that the police will come after them. Now, in the latest, we're learning that senior advocate Siddharth Luthra is representing both the Luthra brothers, where it says that the issue is simple and they're seeking to come back to the country and approach the court in Goa. That does not mean any sort of prejudice. They want to come back and face the law, but they do not want it to be a witch hunt. Then we cut across to Shrishti Ojha, who joins us on the broadcast with further details of what this anticipatory bail plea states and what is it that the lawyers of Luthra brothers are trying to position them in court.
Yes, we have, India Today has exclusively accessed the bail, anticipatory bail petition, which has been filed by the Luthra brothers before Delhi's Rohini court, where they basically sought anticipatory bail for a period of 4 weeks, stating that they want to come back to the country and approach the court. The hearing on their anticipatory bail plea is also right now going on, right now as we speak, before Rohini court, where senior advocate Siddharth Luthra is representing the Luthra brothers, where he clearly stated that while it's unfortunate that the tragedy took place and people passed away, but it's the witch hunting that the Luthra brothers are concerned about. All that they're seeking as of now is to come back to the country, basically get some time to be able to come back and avail their legal remedies, which would basically mean approach the courts in Goa. That's their only request from the court as of now. And he's also said that no state or the prosecution cannot object to a request like that. He's also said that the Luthra brothers will undertake to not tamper with any of the evidence and even cooperate with the investigation. An important statement that is coming from on behalf of the Luthra brothers is that they are just the licensee as far as the said property is concerned. The owner is someone else, and the bar and the restaurant Blue Lagoon situated at the property belonged to the licensee.
But that argument cannot fairly sum it up, Shrishti, given the fact that the Luthra brothers were the ones running that club. They were responsible for all the safety norms and all that needed to be implemented. Having said that, the fact that their lawyer says that they're willing to come back provided they feel it's not a witch hunt is again open-ended, but we wait and watch when the petition is taken up in court and what the court decides on this matter. All right, not too sure if Shrishti is still connected with us, but that's the latest. India Today has accessed the anticipatory bail plea copy of what the Luthra brothers are primarily trying to state in court, where their lawyer says that they are willing to come back to India, face the law, answer all the questions, explore their legal remedies, provided they are not arrested immediately, and they fear witch hunt is what the brothers have stated. Now we wait and watch what the court decides. 25 lives were lost in that fire. It's been 3 days so far, and the news that is tightening around those behind Goa's nightclub horror after an Interpol Blue Corner notice that was issued against brothers Gaurav and Saurabh Luthra. The duo have now moved an anticipatory bail plea in Delhi's Rohini court that will be heard shortly. Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant has vowed that the wanted owners will soon be arrested. He's added that strict action will be taken against those who flout rules across Goa. So far, 6 people have been arrested, 3 government officials have been suspended. India Today also confronted Ajay Gupta, who has been arrested by the cops, and he claimed that he was only a sleeping partner with the Luthras. He said that he had no role to play in Birch nightclub fire and that he was unaware of the lapses. However, GST documents accessed by India Today clearly show how Ajay Gupta was registered as one of the active partners along with the Luthra brothers. Goa police has also written to the passport office seeking immediate cancellation of both their passports, a move that is aimed to prevent any attempt to further flee from Thailand. In the aftermath of the inferno, Goa Chief Minister has ordered sweeping action against all illegally built clubs and coastal properties, calling for demolition wherever violations are found. Meanwhile, the S.I.R. into the Birch fire paints a damning picture. No mandatory fire audit, no safety clearance, and a dangerous flame show that was being held at the packed club with zero safeguards.
मैं स्लीपिंग पार्टनर हूँ, मुझे इसके बारे में कुछ नहीं पता। अरे तो स्लीपिंग पार्टनर हो एनओसी ली थी, तुम स्लीपिंग पार्टनर ही सही, लेकिन क्या तुमने एनओसी मांगी थी? मुझे पूछा था कि पैसा कहाँ लगा रहे हो? गोवा क्लब हादसे में क्लब के एक पार्टनर अजय गुप्ता ने आज तक से कहा कि वो सिर्फ स्लीपिंग पार्टनर था। जब गोवा पुलिस उसे गिरफ्तार करके दिल्ली के क्राइम ब्रांच के दफ्तर पहुंची तो यहां पर जब आज तक ने उसे सीधे सवाल पूछा कि आखिर वो इतने दिन तक कहां था, उसने इतने लोगों की जान गई, क्या क्लब तमाम नियमों पर चल रहा था, लूथरा ब्रदर्स कहां पर हैं, तो उसने जवाब सिर्फ एक दिया कि वो स्लीपिंग पार्टनर था, उसे कोई जानकारी नहीं है। हालांकि ये पकड़ा तब गया जब इसने कमर में दर्द बताकर लाजपत नगर के एक हॉस्पिटल में जाकर ये एडमिट हो गया। एडमिट होते ही पुलिस को जानकारी मिली, पुलिस की टीम हॉस्पिटल पहुंची और वहां पर जो भी जांच थी वो जांच हो जाने के बाद जब उसे डिस्चार्ज किया गया तो गोवा पुलिस लेकर के उसे सीधे सनलाइट कॉलोनी जो क्राइम ब्रांच का ऑफिस है वहां पर पहुंची। हाथ में उसके ड्रिप के निशान भी थे, उसने मास्क लगा रखा था। हमने लगातार उससे सवाल पूछे, पहली कि जिम्मेदारी कौन लेगा, 25 लोगों की मौत हुई है, लूथरा ब्रदर्स फरार हैं, तुम्हारी आखिरी बार बात कब हुई थी? उसने कोई जवाब नहीं दिया। जवाब दिया तो सिर्फ एक, जिससे वो पूरे मामले से पल्ला झाड़ता हुआ नजर आया कि मेरा कोई मतलब नहीं है, मैं तो स्लीपिंग पार्टनर था। आगे की जानकारी यह है कि गोवा पुलिस अब अजय गुप्ता को कोर्ट में पेश करेगी, ट्रांजिट रिमांड पे लेगी और गोवा वापस जाएगी जहां पर उससे पूछताछ की जाएगी।
गोवा पुलिस have achieved the major breakthrough through the investigations to the breach of the Romeo Lane. The blue corner notice have been issued to the Interpol. गोवा पुलिस ने 6 लोगों को ऑलरेडी अरेस्ट कर चुके हैं और बाकी भी लोग जो हैं उनको डेफिनेटली 100% हम अरेस्ट करेंगे।
Learnings which have been taken, I think the Chief Minister has reviewed. Enforcement teams from the government offices have been put across. All department secretaries and directors have been given roles identified to ensure that this type of episodes do not happen again or repetitive and things which are in that particular ambit where illegality is there. Those concerned departments need to ensure that enforcement is immediately done and things which give us part of that Goa. I would also call out to media that as we have gone through this type of episodes, we also need to proactively talk about tourism, Goa being welcoming tourists. Goa is open and Goa is safe.
That's all that we can pack for you in this edition of the news. Do stay tuned to India Today for further updates coming up on the other side.
रक्षा के लिए और ये आपकी रक्षा के लिए।
अरे ये क्या है?
ये आपकी रक्षा के लिए और ये घर की रक्षा के लिए।
न जले न पिघले, घर घर को सेफ बनाएं। अपार अणुशक्ति फायर प्रोटेक्ट वायर।
President Putin's arrival in India, a high-stakes moment in global geopolitics. As global alignments shift, his visit comes at a pivotal time for India-Russia relations. India Today magazine brings an exclusive conversation with President Putin on the changing global landscape, India's growing role in the global south, and the rise of new international forums. Catch the full interview in the latest issue of India Today, Making Sense of India. Subscribe now. Subscriptions.intoday.in. Also available on Amazon and Blinkit.
Thank you for staying with India Today, and we cut across to more breaking news coming in. Bengal Sandesh Khali shocker that has now come to light. Ki Sandesh Khali witness who is dead. The witness had spoken against former TMC Neta, has died in a crash. Now there is suspicion behind this death and what really led to it. Satyajit Ghosh, who was one of the key witnesses in the Sandesh Khali horror, has died due to a head-on crash. Those pictures that have been blurred and foul play allegations that are coming to light after the murky death. Tapas Sengupta joining us live with further details of what is being suspected so far, as there is a demand of a CBI probe into the death of the Sandesh Khali eyewitness.
Well, see, Shweta, the key witness of the Sandesh Khali did not die. He was on way to the Boshkirat Subdivisional Court to appear before the court for an ongoing investigation where Sheikh Shahjahan had labelled allegations against him. And while he was on way with his family, there was a head-on collision with a truck. And in that collision, the youngest son of Bholanath Ghosh, who happens to be the key witness in the Sandesh Khali case, his youngest son has succumbed to his injury. Total 2 persons died. However, the key witness have somehow escaped like whiskers. He had sustained injury. He has been admitted to SSKM hospital as we speak. But the suspicion is being...
Moving on to Malayan Dharamsthala plot that was busted by the SIT. The Special Investigation Team has busted the so-called mass burial live factory. The SIT submitted its initial findings to the court while seeking more time for a full probe. Now, according to the SIT findings, it was a manufactured narrative, which many say was aimed at defaming Dharamsthala. Investigators say the accused were paid, coached and handed planted evidence to script a fake story. From procured skulls to tutored video statements, the conspiracy trail now leads straight to the anti-temple lobby, caught red-handed. The SIT's preliminary conclusion, that is, the mass burial claim was pure fiction, and now with every dot that is getting connected only on India Today is the net tightening. The SIT has sought court approval to arrest 5 accused, with possible arrests expected once permission is granted. Custodial interrogation is likely to follow as the team prepares its final comprehensive report.
I had openly said in the assembly that there is a conspiracy against Dharmasthala. because I know what is going on. Though some of our leaders had asked me about that also, I knew that this is not the fact. A big conspiracy is going on. But ultimately the truth has been prevailed. Justice has been given to them. So I don't like to, I have not seen the charge sheet again. I have been heard from all of you. But the law has to take its own course. Because this type of conspiracy will damage institutions which has come from generation.
केवल तिमरोडी चिन्नैया का साजिश है, उनके पीछे बड़ा बड़ा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वो लोग हुए, वो भी जांच करना। एसआईटी गठित किया है ना, तिमरोडी का बात सुन करके गठित किया है क्या? किसके वजह से गठित किया? सब लोगों को पहले भी मालूम था धर्मस्थल ऐसा नहीं करता है, उसके बाद में भी एसआईटी गठित किया। मुझे लगता है बहुत प्रभावी लोग सरकार के ऊपर भी प्रभाव डाल करके एसआईटी गठित करवाया है।
The truth should come out. Whoever is involved in the entire episode, action should be taken. They should be punished. And we look forward for this investigation and for the inquiry to get completed as early as possible for the justice to prevail.
Over here, whatever the investigation has revealed, it has revealed, and everybody has to bow down to it. In fact, it was the chief minister's and the deputy chief minister's prerogative to start an SIT. There are so much of speculations and so much of media coverage on this, and media trial and everything. So whatever is there, I'm not privy to the exact investigation details, and I'm a spokesperson to the party and not the government. So on behalf of what I can say on the party, what I can say is wait till the entire investigation is done, until the charge sheet is submitted or whatever their final report is submitted. And if somebody is clear of it, more than welcome. If somebody, whoever has done wrong in this, whether this, those who were involved in fabrication and, trying to malign this particular religious institution which has been there for tens of hundreds of years and being worshipped by so many people, they deserve to be punished with the most stringent punishment.
And well, fresh trouble that has surfaced at the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam as vigilance officials report a silk dupatta scam, adding to the series of controversies following the adulterated laddu issue and the donation box theft case. Now, according to preliminary vigilance findings, fake silk dupattas were allegedly supplied between 2015 and 2025, even though they were billed as genuine silk or silk mix material. The suspected fraud that is estimated at 54 crore rupees. Officials say that the contractor delivered around 15,000 dupattas, each priced at 1389 rupees, claiming they were made of silk. However, samples that were sent to 2 laboratories, including the Central Silk Board in Mysuru, confirmed that the material was polyester and not silk.
అది బయట 350 రూపాయలు 400 రూపాయలు దొరుకుతుంది. దాన్ని 1334 రూపాయలు కొంటున్నారు. ఇప్పటికీ నాకు తెలిసి ఈ 4-5 ఏళ్ళలో 50 కోట్ల రూపాయల మెటీరియల్ కొన్నారు. మాకు అక్కడ డౌట్ వచ్చింది. అక్కడి నుంచి చూస్తే చాలా వరకు ఇట్లాంటి అవినీతి జరిగింది కాబట్టి వాళ్ళని ఐడెంటిఫై చేస్తాం. ఏసీబీ చూసుకుంటుంది.
And we cut across to more breaking news coming in. Yes, India today has accessed the brazen Luthra plea in order to evade arrest. Luthras in court are primarily stating that they are in Thailand for work and that they did not flee the country after that fire had occurred. The Luthra brothers are also claiming that they can't return at the moment as they can be arrested. They are saying that they won't come back to India. However, they blame customer lighting anar cracker. That is what they are now stating. They have shifted the entire blame to a customer, saying that it was a customer who was lighting an anar cracker that caused the fire. And as far as them going to Thailand is concerned, they did not flee. They've gone there for work and they will not be able to come immediately because they fear arrest. Let me cut across to Shrishti Ojha, joining us live to how brazenly they have just evaded this entire blame so that it doesn't come upon them, and to say that a customer lighted anar cracker where there was a clear fire show happening in that club. Shrishti.
Our frustration as well as the statement about the anar is concerned, I think what the lawyer is trying to say is that the video that has gone viral, where we can see that the lady which is dancing, the lady who is dancing holds a certain anar thing in her hands while dancing, and that reaches the roof and catches fire. So his lawyer has told court that it's true that it's a tragedy, but as far as he's only seeking anticipatory bail to be able to come back to the country and avail his legal remedies. He's not saying that he's not trying to evade prosecution at all. All he's saying is let him come to Delhi. And he approached the court, the concerned court in Goa, and avail whatever remedy he can avail, and then the court can decide whether or not he deserves to be getting the bail or not. Another important argument made by his lawyer is that they have gone to Thailand for work, because they have a lot of businesses across the world in different countries. So they have gone there to work, and now they can't come back because they are apprehending arrest as soon as they land in Delhi. And witch hunt is something that they fear, that they're fearing. Their concern is a witch hunt against them. What they claimed today in court, they're saying that they're not seeking regular bail. All they're saying is that they want to come back to India and face the prosecution. They're ready to cooperate with the investigation, with the investigating agencies. They're even willing to give an undertaking that they will not tamper with the evidence, and they will cooperate completely with the investigation. He have also questioned how can the state oppose a request for a person to be able to come back to his country and avail his legal remedy. So these are the arguments that the court has been told that the lawyers appearing for Lucha brothers have made. They've also said that all the persons who were handling the affairs at the said restaurant, the said hotel, have already been arrested. The hotel, the restaurant is managed by the operational managers there, who've already been taken into custody. Not just that, his lawyer has also objected to his other restaurants having been straight away bulldozed without any notice being given to them after this particular tragedy took place. Now, interestingly, as far as the allegations against them is concerned, they've also said that the Lucha brothers are just a licensee. The owner is someone else. According to them, they can't even do a repair without the owner's permission at the particular site. And as far as the bar situated there, the Blue Lagoon is concerned, that belongs to the owner. This was already in place before these people came in. So these are the arguments that they're trying to make. But yeah, the biggest argument continues to be one, which is that the operational managers who were managing the hotel are already in custody. And all that the Lucha brothers want as of now is to be able to come back to their country, to come back to Delhi and face prosecution, face the court in Goa and request for a regular bail, and the court can then decide accordingly. But they definitely want to come back is what they're saying. So we've been seeing that there have been allegations that they're absconding. So I think responding to that, the councils have clarified that they do not plan to stay in Thailand. They had gone there for work, and all they want as of now is to be able to come back to their country and face the law, avail their legal remedies, and then see how they cooperate with the investigation, calling whatever has happened an unfortunate tragedy. Back to you.
All right, Shrishti, many thanks for getting us those details. And we are now getting information on Rahul Gandhi's note of dissent in the meeting that he had with Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Union Home Minister Amit Shah. Remember that meeting that started at 1 p.m. Rahul Gandhi had met with Modi-Shah duo primarily to pick the Chief Information Commissioner and Chief Vigilance Commissioner. That meeting has ended. Rahul Gandhi has said no to the names that have been proposed by the government. He has expressed dissent. Now, how much of an impact will this have on the final decision? Well, we are yet to know. However, Rahul Gandhi has expressed dissent. Let me come across to Himanshu Mishra, who joins us on the phone line. Himanshu, हमें और जानकारी दीजिए कि क्या हुआ उस मीटिंग में, क्या नाम सामने आए जो गवर्नमेंट ने प्रपोज किए और किस तरह से राहुल गांधी ने उस पर ऑब्जेक्शन रेज किया?
देखिए, जिन नामों को सरकार पैनल लेके आई थी CIC और इंफॉर्मेशन कमिश्नर के लिए, IC के लिए, उन नामों को लेकर राहुल गांधी ने एक सभा घंटे की बैठक के अंदर जो है एक एक करके जब नामों पर डिस्कशन हुआ तो डिसेंट नोट यानी असहमति पत्र जो है अपना दिया है। उनका ये कहना है कि वो इन नामों से सहमत नहीं है और इसी कारण जो है ये बैठक ज्यादा देर चली। जब एक एक करके नामों को लेकर चर्चा हो रही थी, अब से कुछ देर में ये साफ हो जाएगा कि इस जो सर्च पैनल कमेटी है इसका क्या निष्कर्ष रहा। लेकिन इतना जरूर है क्योंकि सरकार के पास इस पैनल के अंदर बहुमत है, प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी और गृह मंत्री अमित शाह और एलओपी इस बैठक में थे, तो दो मत जो है वो एक साथ है और एक मत की तरफ से जो है असहमति पत्र है जिसमें राहुल गांधी का असहमति पत्र है। जैसा हम पहले भी चर्चा कर रहे थे कि इससे पहले भी जब इस तरीके की बैठकें हुई हैं सर्च पैनल की, चाहे वो सीआईसी के लिए हो या लोकायुक्त के लिए हो या सीवीसी के लिए हो, उसमें कहीं ना कहीं विपक्ष की तरफ से असहमति पत्र ही दिया जाता है। वो इस चीज को लेकर सहमति नहीं देते हैं कि जो सरकार के पैनल है वो उससे संतुष्ट है।
जी हिमांशु, ये बहुत ही ज़रूरी है एंड ऑफ कोर्स द वेरी फैक्ट दैट the opposition and the government coming to consensus as far as this critical decision is concerned। पर हिमांशु हमें डिटेल में बताइए इस प्रोसेस के बारे में, क्योंकि अब जिस तरह से वोटिंग होगी।
देखिए 10 दिन पहले जो है सरकार की तरफ से जो है पूरे पैनल पे नाम दिए जाते हैं किन किन अधिकार लोग हैं जिनको इस के लिए सरकार सोचती है जो नियुक्ति होनी है उसके लिए उपयुक्त। उन्हीं पैनल पे जो है उनके ब्रीफ नोट होता है हर नाम का और उस ब्रीफ नोट के आधार पर जो है हर नाम पर चर्चा होती है और उसके बाद सहमति बनाने की कोशिश की जाती है। लेकिन सत्ता पक्ष और विपक्ष जिस तरीके से लगातार एक दूसरे पर आरोप प्रत्यारोप करते रहते हैं और राहुल गांधी ने कल हाउस में भी कहा था कि ऐसा बहुत बार होता है जब चुनाव आयोग ईसीआई के लिए सर्च पैनल होता है या ईसी के लिए जो सर्च पैनल है या अन्य जैसे आज चीफ इंफॉर्मेशन कमिश्नर और इंफॉर्मेशन कमिश्नर की नियुक्ति के लिए होना था, उसमें उनका कहना है कि 3 मत में से 2 मत जो है वो सरकार के होते हैं, 1 मत एलओपी का होता है, तो सहमति नहीं बन पाती है और इसीलिए वो हमेशा असहमति पत्र देते हैं। तो ये उसी कड़ी में देख सकते हैं कि सरकार और विपक्ष जो है किसी भी विषय पे जो है वो सहमति नहीं बन पाती है। जैसा आज भी हुआ है कि राहुल गांधी ने जो सरकार की तरफ से जो सुझाए गए नाम थे उनमें असहमति पत्र जो है वो दिया है।
जी हिमांशु, धन्यवाद इस जानकारी के लिए। Moving on to the massive uproar over DMK submitting an impeachment motion plea against Justice Swaminathan of Madurai bench of Madras High Court to Lok Sabha Speaker, Andhra Deputy Chief Minister and BJP have now launched an all-out attack on DMK over the impeachment motion plea. Andhra Deputy Chief Minister Pawan Kalyan hit out at the DMK, saying the judiciary was threatened in the name of pseudo-secularism. He's also hit out at the selective use of provisions against judges and said that opposition's actions set a dangerous precedent and undermined judicial independence. The BJP has also hit out at UBT Sena for being part of the team that submitted the impeachment motion to Speaker. BJP said that the UBT Sena had derailed from Balasaheb Thackeray's principles and legacy and that divisive politics always remained their agenda. DMK leader Kanimoi submitted an impeachment notice to Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla yesterday, seeking removal of Madras High Court Judge G.R. Swaminathan after obtaining signatures from more than 120 MPs. Congress MP Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav were also present.
Communicating to public, you're threatening judges, you're threatening judiciary. Anything which doesn't fit into our line of thinking or our frame of thinking about secularism, this is how we're going to read. It is there some kind of, I look at it as a kind of threatening.
So do you think the DMK is trying to, infiltrate these kind of ideologies?
It is, I don't know whether DMK, whoever does it, not just for one I say, incident, I'm saying anybody in this nation, if they keep doing this way, I think people who are hurt, I think they should be very vocal, they should be very open about it, and they said they have to condemn this kind of practice.
Way back in 2014, there was a petition filed in the court that the lamp should be lit in another place. But he had dismissed the petition, stating that long practices say that a lamp is lit in this place. So there is no need for that. It was a 2-judge panel A single judge cannot deviate from the higher bench. He has done that intentionally. He is siding with the religious groups. He is not genuine in his. A judge cannot take side with any group. He should be neutral, and he should judge a case on the merits of the case. But here, without thinking anything, immediately on the taking up the petition and immediately passing orders is judicially wrong.
India Today's Akshita Nandagopal earlier spoke to Tamil Nadu BJP leader K. Annamalai on the opposition's impeachment motion plea. Listen in to what he said.
Mr. Annamalai, this is a constitutional right. If they want to go ahead and impeach a judge, this is the process that's usually followed if you don't have faith in a judge, which is what the DMK is doing. I want to focus on one particular point also mentioned in this impeachment motion, where they've said that this particular judge is favouring advocates from a particular community. Now, I had the DMK on the show earlier. They're saying that it isn't just this judgment. Repeatedly, this judge, Justice G.R. Swaminathan, has been giving verdicts favouring a particular community.
Very, very unfortunate, madam. Extremely unfortunate that DMK has chosen to speak this language. And the same Mr. G.R. Swaminathan has given an order against me. I am sitting right in front of you. And he has given an order against me. In some case, I have to gone to some other court to stay what he has given against me. I'm just telling you. So simply because Mr. G.R. Swaminathan has given an order against me, a citizen called Annamalai, did I speak bad about the judge? It is his way of interpreting the law. We always have the higher courts to go and appeal. And this was a case of a hate speech where he chose to see whatever I spoke as a hate speech. Am I complaining against the judge? So I don't know what the DMK is speaking. In the classic case of Mr. G.R. Swaminathan, it is only the Thirupuramgundram issue where DMK has taken particular offence. Now they want to twist it. They want to twist and bring all angles to say, no, all his verdict, be it in Kanyakumari, Killiyur, or in Dindikkal, or here, is favouring one particular community. It is all well reasoned orders where the collector and the commissioner simply refuse to disobey, simply refuse to obey that order. They disobey. And none of the administrative people want to talk about it. Now, the whole of Tamil Nadu, the law and order is in shambles. There is no semblance of government. There is no semblance of administrative machinery. Now, only they want to take offence for Thirupuramgundram. They want to bring the caste to which the judge belongs into question. And whatever order he has given till now, they want to see from the selective interpretation of the caste to which he belongs or to the religion to which he belongs. Very, very unfortunate. I can give you classic cases, madam, where many high court judges, their fathers and mothers were office bearers, some MLAs, somebody were in DMK party member, they have become high court judges. I'm not complaining now. There is a process of selection. They have come there. In each of those verdicts, if I start seeing that once you were a DMK member, your mother was a DMK MLA, then the whole of judiciary cannot stand on its feet. It's very unfortunate that DMK has chosen this level, has chosen to stoop to this level to play politics.
And well, the Madurai Deepam controversy that has now exploded into a full-blown political storm after firing salvos at the BJP and AIDMK. The DMK has opened a new front targeting Madras High Court Judge G.R. Swaminathan, who ordered the Deepam to be lit atop the Deepathon pillar despite the state's objections. Now, in a dramatic escalation, DMK MP Kanimoi led the India bloc in submitting an impeachment notice against the judge, backed by 120 Lok Sabha MPs. BJP has slammed the move, calling it sheer political theatre aimed at appeasing the minority vote bank. We're getting you a quick, high-voltage recap of this entire saga.
Pro-Hindu groups that are being forcefully removed from this location at this spot.
A religious spark.
They are trying to remove the crowd from this particular area.
A legal flashpoint. A political firestorm. The Madurai Deepam controversy has now exploded into a rare showdown. The ruling DMK versus a sitting High Court judge. What began as a matter of faith has morphed into an unprecedented clash between the state's political establishment and the judiciary. DMK MPs on Tuesday marched to Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla with an impeachment motion against Justice G.R. Swaminathan, a move backed by 120 MPs of the India bloc, including Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and Akhilesh Yadav. The DMK's charge sheet against the judge is blunt. The judge's conduct, they say, compromises judicial impartiality. He allegedly shows favor to a particular advocate. And he delivers orders tinted with political ideology. The BJP has seized the moment, calling the impeachment attempt proof of what it calls the opposition's anti-Hindu, anti-constitution phase.
This is the sentiment of Hindus for 100 years, and this is the right of each and every Hindu in Tamil Nadu. So we cannot, if we going on giving impeachment for every judgment like this, there is no any end for that.
The flashpoint was Justice Swaminathan's order to light the lamp on the Deepathon pillar atop the Tiruparankuntram hill, raising objections from Dargah management. The order was not implemented by the Tamil Nadu government, igniting protests by the BJP and right-wing groups. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin hit back hard, accusing political rivals of weaponizing the Deepam for cheap politics and having a riot mindset.
ஒரு சிலரோட அரசியல் லாபங்களுக்காக பிரிவுகளையும் பிளவுகளையும் உண்டாக்கி சமூகத்தை துண்டாடும் சதி செயல்கள் அது நிச்சயமா ஆன்மீகம் அல்ல, அது அரசியல். அது கேடுகட்ட மலிவான அரசியல்.
The DMK knows it does not have the numbers. This impeachment motion won't topple a judge, but they hope to send a loud, unmistakable message ahead of 2026 Tamil Nadu battle. Bureau Report, India Today.
That's all we can pack for you in this edition of the news. Do stay tuned to India Today for all the latest updates. You can also log into our website indiatoday.in or download the app. Thank you so much for watching.
Hi, Sana here with a quick AQI update. Delhi 261, Mumbai 141, Kolkata 238, Bangalore 153, Chennai 184, Hyderabad 160.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
watching India Today.
Good afternoon and welcome to India Today. I'm Anjali Istiwal. Big breaking news coming in from Bengal right now. It seems then the witness in Sandesh Khali case has died, and he was a key witness, and that man, it seems, was on his way to the court when an accident supposedly happened and the person has passed away. He was the son of a key witness. Remember, this is a matter in which a former TMC Neta was accused of land grab and sexual assault. For more on this, I'm joined by India Today's Tapas Sengupta. Let's cut straight across to him. Tapas, a very suspicious death, least to say.
What's his name? Well, see, in a major development, what we are witnessing right now, that the key witness in Sheikh Shahjahan case, Bholanath Ghosh met with an accident, a major road accident, while he was on his way to Bushirat Subdivision Court to appear before the court in a different matter. But there was a head-on collision with a truck in a Boiramari area, which is not far away from the Shahjahan stronghold. And this raises suspicion that whether or not this accident was just an accident or it was an attempt to eliminate the key witness. However, in this accident, the youngest son of the key witness, Bholanath Ghosh's youngest son, Satyajit Ghosh, succumbed to his injuries, and the driver also is critically injured and fighting for his life. But as of now, police have initiated investigation. What the local sources say, that immediately after the accident happened, the driver of the truck escaped from the truck, and he somehow escaped from that very place on a motorcycle. That means it primarily makes it clear that there was an attempt to have a head-on collision. However, the prime accused, Bholanath Ghosh, have made it very clear that he do not know what was the exact reason behind this accident. But given the kind of influence that Sheikh Shahjahan has in that area, there are several questions being raised, at least from the opposition political section, that was this an attempt to eliminate the key witness. And he is one of the prime witness in that very case, where the enforcement directorate officials were allegedly attacked and manhandled in January 2024 when they went to search the house of Sheikh Shahjahan in Sandesh Khali. And following this incident, CBI later stepped in and they were carrying on with the investigation. And as we speak, the investigation is being done by the Central Bureau of Investigation, and Bholanath Ghosh remains to be a key witness, because given the influence that Shahjahan has in and around Sandesh Khali, barely someone had gathered courage to come on record to speak. But Bholanath Ghosh from the day one has been a key witness for the CBI in this entire case. Now this kind of incident happening and coming into the limelight raises question and suspicion, both regarding the safety security of the witness, and secondly, whether this was just an accident or this was an attempt to eliminate Bholanath Ghosh by someone who may be close to Sheikh Shahjahan. Anjali.
Right, absolutely. Do stay on with us, Tapas, as we give a little bit more information that is coming in this matter. It seems, as Tapas was telling us, the person who's died is the son of the key witness in this entire matter, and it is a suspicious death while on the way to court, and now there is a demand for a CBI probe on this entire matter. So clearly a suspicious death right there as this hearing was on. Tapas, do tell us that what is the political reaction that is coming in on this incident?
Well, we are yet to hear from the ruling party here, from Trinamool Congress. The BJP have already reacted. They say that this is just not an accident. This could be a conspiracy to eliminate the main witness to that very case where the CBI is probing at the moment. The Congress have also hit hard. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary have also raised questions that if Bholanath Ghosh remains...
We are getting another political reaction right now. Adhir Ranjan is speaking on this. Let's listen to what he has said on this matter.
সাক্ষী এখন ট্রায়াল হয়তো হতে পারে, কাস্টডি ট্রায়াল হতে পারে, তার জন্য মেরে দাও সাক্ষীকে, করতেই পারে। এটাই তো মস্তানদের সব থেকে বড় কেরামতি। পশ্চিমবঙ্গে শাহজাহানদের যাতে কিছু না হয় তার জন্য পশ্চিমবঙ্গ সরকার সক্রিয়, করতেই পারে। এটা খুব স্বাভাবিক, মেরে দিতে চেষ্টা করছে। তাই যারা কাস্টডি মানে যারা উইটনেস আছে সেই উইটনেসকে প্রোটেকশন দেওয়ার দায়িত্ব কিন্তু পশ্চিমবঙ্গ সরকারের পুলিশ বিভাগে।
Right. Tapas, you heard Adhir Ranjan speaking over there. If you could translate as to what he said and what was the crux of his political statement.
Well, what he said basically that it is also the prerogative of the state government to give security to witnesses like this, and if this kind of incident is happening, then it is absolutely unfortunate. And yes, there is an air of suspicion as to how this incident have transpired, whether or not this. He also raised question that he could have been killed, and then he can just kill him during trial. This is what criminals do. That's what his apprehensions are.